All right.
Yo.
How's everyone doing? Welcome to
Howdy.
our 10th show. This is our 10th show. So on the 5th show, I had Bloody Marys, but on the 10th show, I'm still on the coffee, I'm afraid. How's everyone doing?
We're gonna convert you yet.
You'll know that we've reached the finish line when I'm starting these with beer, and then they'll be like, okay, that's just normal.
Somebody's got to steer the ship.
Okay, so on that theme, what are you guys drinking? I haven't even asked you yet.
All right. So I got what is this? Feist beer from my brewery around the corner.
All right, cool.
Well, Oktoberfest beer that they still have in a can that they brewed. It's really good. I can just walk there and grab a 4-pack and
nice
You
and
don't have
close.
to bring it home, just, you know.
it's real rough. Yeah, it's real rough that being that close.
No surprise on me, of course.
Yes, of
Got
course.
my golf beers.
Reliable. You're reliable.
Dave, I will tell you, I drank a weird beer yesterday or the other day.
A weird beer. Okay, can't wait to hear
That's
this.
what I call them. So we were at Mother Bear's Pizza Restaurant here, and they had a pickle sour. So, and I just looked at it and I was like, I'm just too. I gotta taste it. So, yeah, and I drank it, and it tasted like a pickled gummy worm. That's exactly what it tasted like.
That does not sound pleasant.
Yeah,
There's
me.
nothing
I'll get
appealing
another
about
I'm
that.
gonna pass on that
doesn't
one.
sound like it'd do the
I was too
trick.
curious. I had to try it, man.
I don't really
Weird
like
stuff like that.
sours.
Yeah, they taste like gummy worms, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But I commend you for trying it.
Oh,
Wild
that's
turkey.
on the whole
Wow.
turkey.
Little switch up.
Why not?
With how you drinking it, Dan? With like Coke Zero or something?
Coke Zero, gotta be healthy, you
Coke
know.
Zero.
Gotta be
Balance it
healthy.
out, man.
A friend of mine, I was just in Vegas with a friend of mine that we only see like once a year, or he goes to Vegas to see some shows and stuff. And he lives in Nashville, and he goes, you want any like whiskey or anything from here or something when we come? And I'm like, well, I don't really drink whiskey that much, but okay. Well, what about moonshine? I'm like, okay. And then he starts showing me pictures of like moonshine chocolate cherries. I'm like, oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking talking about strong cherry. You have one of those, and you're like, woohoo!
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. Those are pretty good. But then he brought something that was really interesting. It was a bourbon that was a salted watermelon bourbon.
Wow.
This was unbelievable tasting. You
That's
just pour it straight in a glass. It's a little sweet, but not excessively sweet.
Dave, is this a bit like
good.
this? I think I talked about it on the last show. I've got that peanut butter infused bourbon.
I guess it's similar.
It's similar to that kind of like that style of. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sort
amazing.
of. I mean, it tastes, strong, like a strong bourbon taste, but just has this. It was delicious, actually. I was
It's almost
shocked
like
how good it was.
It's like I don't know. It's like a dessert or something. It's like
Kind of, yeah. You don't drink a ton of it. You just kind of have a little.
Yeah.
But you just drink it straight. You don't even mix it with anything.
You wouldn't do shots with it, that's for sure. Or you could try, I guess. But
We could do shots, but
you
you
try.
don't want to sip it. I think
Yeah, I think it's one to be
safer
Yeah,
bet.
you're taking
Maybe.
a risk doing shots with that.
Yeah.
On the hangover that you're gonna have after.
Ooh.
No, we just had Halloween here,
Yeah.
and I went to Billy Howardell's house again. He had a Halloween party. That was fun.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Saw Tesla when I was in Vegas a week ago.
Cool. How was
They
it?
were great, as usual. Actually, they were probably better than I've seen them in the last couple of years. Even I don't know why that night was just particularly good.
They were on.
We were sitting at the soundboard behind the sound guy on some chairs, And it
Always
was
the best.
my wife and myself and Jakey Lee and his wife. We were all like
Nice.
watching.
Very cool.
And he had the drums pounding. Just like I commended the sound guy. He was like, man, that kick drum sounds good.
Yeah.
So you could hear the guitar, Dave?
Oh, you could hear the guitars. You could really hear the drums. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe the guitars could have been a little louder, but they were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fine. And the drums were commendably fuck you kind of drums. Yeah, they were good.
It's the way it should be.
And it's the guy, Steve Brown is the drummer. It's Mick Brown's little brother. And he's just a really solid, simple drummer. And because of that, it just has a, strong, solid beat, this killer.
Yeah, man. That's sweet as.
Yeah, it was good.
And so Dan, man, what have you been up to over the last 4 weeks?
Man, modding. And
Back to work?
I was out in Slovenia for like a week and a bit. Just shortly after we last did the last show. So a little break then, and then back just straight into drilling million holes.
I did see that. I saw you posted that on your Instagram, and I was like,
yeah.
Hasn't Dan just got back to work after being on holiday for 3 months or something?
Yeah.
And you're
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, man,
everywhere but the US. That happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here it's like vacation.
Yeah.
I had one 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it's the thing is like we've been in a long distance relationship. It's like
right.
I'm out there I go out for like a week and a bit every so many weeks, and then I just when I'm here I'm working flat out most of the time, so that it kind of makes up for it. It's like
how long's the flight, Dan?
Oh, literally like 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing major, so it's like
just
the
move
same as if you were. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the plan, but for
it's
now,
simpler to ship.
Yeah.
You'd be in the EU.
Yeah, would make life a bit easier these days. Yeah. But yeah, so I was out for a little bit, which was nice, and then back into the drilling and soldering game again all the time.
Back into the freehand drilling.
Oh yeah. You know me, freehand drilling everything. And
that's for the guys on the stream. I just asked Dan before we came on whether he had a drill template that he used for the mods. He's like, no, man, just go freestyle.
That's
crazy. You're really good.
Ruler,
You're really good at that.
Set square and all of that, and just doing it all the time. That's the thing. But yeah,
freestyle for Dan though is not like freestyle for Mark Cameron.
So, we wouldn't recommend this at home either. Like,
freestyle for Mark Cameron would be every label's crooked and every hole's in slightly crooked.
That always the crooked labels too always just got me. It's like you can just take a second, straighten out that label a little bit,
I've got to I end up pulling the label off and printing another one if it's like
I always print two. I print when I go to print the labels, I print two because I know I'm gonna fuck one up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
And then still sometimes you're like, it's still a little off. Ah, fuck it, it's close enough.
Yeah. It drives me insane. It takes ages to do this stuff, If only people knew how long it takes to, get holes perfectly drilled so that they don't look like shit. So getting your labels printed out and lining them up just right, so they look good. Every little thing, even it's there's even sometimes slight tolerance shifts in pots and things, or in the knobs that you put on. And when you rotate the knob, it doesn't actually stay dead center, and it looks off if it's at a particular position. And all of this stuff drives me insane. Like, I'm way too OCD to put up with any of it. So I'm just immediately, I'm like ripping it out and then putting something else in there if it's not right. So,
dude, this is the I'm gonna hit this question here because it's gonna make me laugh. So, a tube amp building masterclass, what it would actually be is just all about lining up labels.
Oh yeah.
This is like the end boss, right? If you can get that.
I think what it also might be is like 4 drunk guys trying to teach someone to build an amp.
This would be terrifying.
Hey,
I think we'd have a problem.
We'd probably, there'd be a couple working amps, I'm sure.
Probably one or two in the end.
What about you, Shay? What have you been up to, man?
Oh man, dude, it's been tons of fires. Been making lots of fires. Did some s'mores
not with
daughter.
amps, I'm hoping.
No, man, it's been
It's your startup procedure.
What's that?
It's your amp startup procedure. See if you can get a fire going.
Yeah, but just enjoying the fall weather and did some s'mores with my daughter the other day. It was cool. And as far as work goes, I've started doing a lot of accounting and then parts and all this stuff, just seeing what I got. And I've started doing another build run of these Unholy Grail amps. And then we've got our transformer order that we put in that was massive. Got to make a trip over to KSR. Got a bunch of stuff on the plate, but everything is good. Yeah,
man. So every time I order, because I've been having to order a bunch of parts in bulk. It's $1,000 every time without even trying. Man. It's like is everything. Like I mean, I know it's interesting that if you look at your Mauser history, because you can look at the order history, and you bring up a part that you've been using for the last X many years, and you can see what you paid for it back. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, whatever.
Yeah.
Fire out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I suggest not looking at that.
Yeah.
I suggest not looking at that.
I'm just looking at the total now. Going, okay, I've got to 1,000. It must be about right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's true, man.
I do like buying in just the crazy bulk and never having to worry about it again, though, too. Like buying some parts, it's like thousands of them, and just like because if you're just buying like minimal parts all the time, it just gets so old and no fun at all.
Well, man, it's like when we first got to know each other, you had found on eBay, I think, this massive 5,000 caps or something like that, 0.68 50 volt MKT bypass caps.
Yeah.
And you sent me. Because I got something in the States and I sent it to your place so you could kind of, ship it to me.
Yeah.
And you put 1,000 of those caps inside the box. Man, I've still got them. Man, I don't know, man, but I use them. I use them in my production amps. I'm like using them all the time.
Yeah, I use them.
It's just like this never-ending supply of bypass.
I still got like 4,000 of them, probably.
I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing. I probably got like 5 or 6 boxes of those things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Never have to worry about it again.
Great.
Well, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, at that point, even if you end up running into a few duff ones along the way, it's just throw them out. Next one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Great.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely
and for bypass caps, I mean, it's the right voltage and everything. It's good.
Yeah.
You can't use it for anything bigger like loops and things, but still, it's it's totally good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Dave, man, what have you been? I mean, you've been to Vegas and done a bunch of things, but like from Friedman Amp's perspective, everything heading towards getting ready for NAMM, or is that still too far away?
Yes. No, big time. It's we're headed. Yeah, it's going to be. I got a lot of work to do the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, almost 3 months. Okay. Let's not.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do though. But that's all coming together. So I think it'll all be, I'll have some working amps.
Awesome. Well, I messaged you during the week, man. I don't know. And Shay, I think you're pretty keen too. Dan, we should talk to you, but I'm really keen to get to NAMM.
I thought you guys are going to NAMM.
Well, I'm a yes for sure.
I'm down. I'm in. Yeah. We gotta figure out Airbnb and stuff like that. And
you should come across, Dan.
Mate, it's probably not going to happen this time for me. Probably next time It's not going to happen this time round, but you know, I'd like to, but I got loads of shit happening, so it's going to have to be next time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Too bad.
Well, we'll be there. We're coming.
Do I need to get you guys passes, or is Kyle getting you passes?
Kyle did say he was going, so we might split an Airbnb. I don't know. I'll have to ask him about that.
Okay. Whatever, whichever way. Just let me know. They haven't opened up the passes yet, so.
All right. Cool. Well, man, I would put us on the list, Dave, and then we'll eat.
Well, then send me an email with both of whatever legal spelling of your names are, and I think NAMM also needs a birth date for each of you.
All right. Easy.
Pretty sure. So if you just put that information, I'll just pass it on to Todd at Boutique, and he'll do it.
Awesome.
So,
well, I better book some flights then. Get it organized.
I haven't been on a plane since I was like 9 years old.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna be terrified. Yeah, I'm like super terrified of heights too. So this is what. Yeah, I'm gonna need.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
It's fine. If Jason can fly all the way from Australia, you can easily fly for 4 hours across from Indiana.
Yeah.
I want to take a long car ride.
Yeah. For me, flying feels like being in a car. It's just like
you kind of get
doing
like
so much.
Yeah, you just zone out, right?
Just drink a lot before you get on the plane. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Indy flight to LA, which I've obviously done a bunch of times now, it's easy. You just, you know.
Well, compared to the one from.
Well, this is it. You know, the worst flight. The worst flight, of course, is leaving here and getting to LA when I've had a connection.
How many hours is that?
Well, that's 15.
Oh,
right? And that's not. I mean, that's not. You know, like you got to. That's a mindset thing. You just got to go. Okay, I'm going to be on this thing for 15 hours now. So depends whether it's a daytime flight or nighttime. Maybe you can get some sleep. Maybe you can't. But you just kind of you come prepared. You know, a few movies. Maybe some stuff to read, whatever. Yeah, 10. But it's it's all the shit that happens when you arrive, because if you've got a connecting flight, like not the last time, but the time before, man, I was minutes away from missing that connecting flight, and then I would have had to stay another whole day before the next flight was come, you know. And no one gives a shit. Like I was trying to get some help from ground staff or whatever. They're like, fucking, who are you? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, no.
Just another Tuesday to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, man.
Yeah, this happens constantly, and just
well,
I try not to do anything I can do to not have a connecting flight.
Oh no, man, it's the fucking worst. That's the most stressful part. Like,
or make sure that there's a big layover so you can't miss it, or you shouldn't be able to miss it.
This is right.
Yeah. If you have 2 hours between your flights, generally you're safe. If you have 45 minutes, forget it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, no, that's not possible. I had an hour 45, but I was in a queue to get through customs for like nearly an hour and a half.
Oh,
you got to get do you have the kind of the TSA pre-thing kind of thing here? So in the US, you can get that, and it's like.
Well, the issue for me is that I have looked into that, but the issue for me arriving into the US is I'm a non-US citizen going through international arrivals, and so you get pushed into this other area.
Yeah.
Big snaking queue of like every nationality under the sun, other than the US. Yeah. And every entry is an interview, right? So the customs officer will talk to you and ask, like, why are you here? You know, what do you know? I remember that one time I came in because he said, why are you here? And I said, well, I design and build amplifiers. And he said, what kind of amplifiers? Fuck, here we go. Guitar. Yeah. Oh, really?
Vacation is the answer. I'm here for vacation.
I know, but I mean, once you kind of like, anyway, he's like, you know what he said to me? Prove it. He said, prove it. I was like, fuck, I don't know. He said, have you got a website? because he looked at me and realized that I was just kind of like deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to do. And he said, well, have you got a website? I said, yeah. He said, well, bring it up on your phone and show it to me. It's like, okay. Fuck, man, it was a third degree anyway. He eventually let me in. Thank God.
Yeah. There's
Vacation.
I used to have to go through that every time we went on holiday to America. It was the same thing every year.
Well, yeah, it's never easy. But anyway, it's
probably not any easier now.
Well, I come prepared now. Like I know exactly now that I've done it so many times. I know what they're going to ask me.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. Hey, I'm going to hit the super chat before we get into our special topic because I don't want to. Very conscious that we ignore the chat at times. So I want to get on to this one. Real amps are dead. Thanks, man. Okay, so hey,
bad name.
Dude. Well, maybe he's on the crusade to make sure they're not, which is cool. Thanks for the awesome YouTube content. No worries. What preamp voltages do you usually aim for, and how's your approach with that?
So this question came into me earlier on, and I said to him, drop it into the chat tonight. So thanks for the super chat and bringing it into the chat.
I mean, preamp voltages. Okay, well, what are we talking here? From what point to what point? I'll look at that as like from the phase inverter of the amp through the rest of it.
Yep.
So let's say you have a Marshall-esque, modded circuit or something. Generally at the phase inverter junction, I shoot for 320-ish, maybe a little higher, maybe up to 330, somewhere in there. And then everything kind of falls in line. Although I do look, it depends on how many gain stages you've added and how much it's going to pull down the supply. So you need to constantly adjust that, So, I mean, I look for, at the cathode follower, at the tone stack, I look for 160 to 170 on voltage. And then, shall we say, if it's just a 3-stage amp, I look the second stage in the amp, I look for around 200 volts. And depending on the style of amp for the first stage, it could be, if it's like a Jose style amp, I look for around 140-ish, 135 to 140-ish range. 140 I generally have settled on, as I like. You start getting much lower and you have a JJ tube, it starts bleeding voltage out the input grid. So you have to be careful. You can't get it too low unless you use a blocking cap on the input grid. So generally I shoot for 140 if it's a Jose style amp, but other amps could be higher, could be up to 200 in the first stage too.
Yeah,
so
and that's the other side of the that's like the at the tube socket side. Not actually at the you're
talking about like that's right.
140 I'm talking at the tube socket side. 200 exactly. I'm talking everything at the tube socket side pretty much, except for the phase inverter. I'm talking at the node. Because exactly. It all kind of lines up. You get one thing right, but the interesting thing is, like, if you adjust dropping resistors and different things in your B plus line, it will affect the previous stage, the back stage. So like if you change, say, the 10K before your cathode follower to say 4.7 because you need a little more voltage there, it changes the B plus at the phase inverter then too. So it's all a balancing act. So then you might need to adjust that a little bit again. So
So and if you if someone's adding like a Metro style loop with a mod,
that drops it.
They're doing right. It's gonna change. You be very be very aware of that. I think the one of the
huge differences in tone though. Like changing. If you, let's say you're just adjusting the voltage for that phase inverter, right? And you're just playing with that alone, and like all the rest of the stuff sort of falling in line. Man, changing that from say 315 to 340 or 350, it's pretty radically different.
Yeah,
on
you've just
how
got to
it
look at in the JCM 800 when they moved from vertical to horizontal, and they changed the drop-in resistors and the filtering at the same time. The voltages through the preamp are a lot higher.
A lot higher.
It's one of the main reasons why those amps sound different. And
It's too low is fuzzy sort of sounding, and too high is kind of brittle.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of sweet spots in there depending on the amp design, the amp and how you want it to sound. So there's sometimes a little higher is cool. Sometimes I've noticed with mods, especially, I'll play with that a little bit and like, oh, I like this one just a little bit hotter because it cleans up the fuzziness a little bit. But if you go too far, it's then brash.
Yeah.
I find so. There's
the interesting thing as well is that the bottom end is the way the bottom end note attack happens is different as well when that phase inverter node is lower or higher. And the higher you get with it, even though obviously one of the first things you notice is the top end does get quite hard. The bottom end, it's interesting. It's I always feel like the bottom end feels like it lacks a little bit of gain response in it. It's like you feel like you have to hit the amp way harder, you have to pick way harder to get that kind of swing. You obviously you get a little more headroom when you get that voltage up higher, but it's really one of those things. If you're going to have the phase inverter node higher in voltage, there's going to be other things you're going to want to adjust to compensate for that. You can't. I don't really think it's like just a case of, well, we'll just set that higher and everything will be fine. I think you can have it higher and you can have some other stages lower. You can drop voltage so that it's back down within range, down in the preamp section, further towards the input stage, but keep the phase inverter node high. But yeah, I think if you just have it higher, you run into the same thing we talked about with those late JCM 800s. It just kind of doesn't really sound balanced. Everything feels kind of out of whack, and the amp feels really dry to play through.
I know what you mean, man. They kind of become they're not fun to play. I find there's that feel thing, and you lose that. I don't know. There's no.
They're dry. They're just it's dry and it's grainy. But it's there's other amps that have a similar kind of thing going on with their phase inverters, with the high voltage. But they compensate for it elsewhere, and then it works. So again, you've kind of got to balance everything.
You kind of lose that. It's got no chewiness anymore, like that. Yeah.
Well, sometimes
it feels a little bit like when your wall voltage is a little bit too high, and everything's kind of just stiff and brittle and just unpleasant.
Hopefully, some of these schematics, because we're going to pull some schematics. Hopefully, there's some voltage reads on those. Then, that's perfect, right?
Sometimes,
it's kind of rare. Sometimes you'll find some, and sometimes
the SLO scheme we're going to look at does have voltages on it. So
I think I've got voltages for the rectifier stuff anyway. So that's
cool.
Perfect.
All right, man. Well, real amps are dead.
It's interesting because there were some Jose mods where he used to change. There used to be a switch on the preamp, the first tube, that would change the voltage to the first tube, the play voltage on the very first gain stage.
Oh yeah,
and those are that's kind of interesting. He did it in a weird way though. He like had a resistor to ground that was just like loading down like the voltage, and it was cool though because you could really fine tune that first stage and how the thing sounded. So it was kind of neat.
It was like a stepped
rotary switch.
Rotary switch. With a ton of
resistors on it. You have to get the resistances all kind of calculated so you get like a kind of even turn on it. Yeah, it's
not quite the best way to have done it, but it worked. I've worked on a few.
Yeah. Do you get a loud pop when you move the switch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
like I always say. I always say Jose was a pioneer, but a lot of stuff was very archaic in how it switched.
The switching.
So there was some flaws in the switching, I think over time, like the push-pull master thing.
Oh yeah.
Dude, people
You
complain
can
about.
see the speakers
I have
move.
people complain about their power switch making a pop when they turn it off. You know, I'm like going, well, it's a switch and it makes or breaks the AC. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to change it where it's not. You know, it's going to pop a little bit. Well, yeah, but that is going to hurt my speakers. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Trust me. You should hear the Jose thing.
Yeah.
Bam.
Earth shattering. Yeah.
Sit and forget, man. Sit and forget. All right. So there's I think this is let the shitstorm begin. Okay, so I think this is the 5150 Dual Rectifier conversation.
Probably.
I'm sure that's what it's a reference.
Well,
Not wrong.
I started that a long time ago when we had Mike Soldano on Tone Talk for the first time. And
I remember that episode.
That. And I'm like, what did I say exactly to Mike? I go, I was like, man, that fucking sucked. They just straight up stole it from you. Or something. I don't remember what I said exactly.
I remember it, man. And he just kind of.
And then the best part is
didn't
people got on my case about it. And I'm like going, this is not new news, people. This is really old news. This happened a long time ago, and they did straight up steal it.
Yeah. Well, man, I thought because of the level of conversation that we're happy to go to in this stream, like schematic level, we can do some myth busting here, because this is one of these topics in the amp world that I think gets debated a lot, especially on those forums, with people that don't really know. That, you know, like, it's just bits of information that's been grabbed and no one's actually probably putting an argument forward based on the actual facts. But Matt, Dave, I wanted to start by just, we all know that the SLO 100 came first with these three amps that we're talking about today.
1987, I believe.
87. So I actually I asked ChatGPT.
Of course.
You know, I'm not a heavy user of AI, but I use it where it's important, like asking about amps.
Yeah.
And, it's got 1987 here for sure. So I guess the initial thing was, I was curious as to what you could remember. How long was Mike doing mods to Marshalls before the SLO?
Oh, I don't think he was.
Okay.
I think he. That's a good question.
You know, like that amp, the amp that Shay and I worked on, that we figured was
that was done after he developed the SLO.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it predated it.
Most of those mods he was doing, you know, at the same time he started the SLO kind of thing.
Right.
And I mean, I remember I moved to California in 1988, so like a year after he first came out with that amp. And I remember going to a shop back then, 1988, you know, because one of the very first amps, I think number 3 or something, was owned by Andy Brower's Studio Rentals. It had silver transformers. That amp later got sold to George Lynch, and later he offed it to someone else for some insane price tag. Because he wanted that original one. And the original ones were kind of interesting because they're not that really much different, but they did have a bunch of carbon resistors on the board, not all of it, but some carbon resistors dotted through the board. I don't know if that was just because that's what he had at the time or whatever. I don't think it was a conscious choice, because later it turned all to metal film. But and I don't know how much different really the amp sound, maybe slightly, but this early one didn't have it only had a bright switch for the clean. It didn't have a crunch switch, you know, crunch or clean switch. So that was the earliest ones were set up like that. The Mike Landau amp that I owned for a while had also just that. They didn't have that crunch clean switch.
I was always curious where he, like, way back then, where how did he design, and where would he have been getting his printed circuit boards from?
Well, I know he did it. I mean, he did the boards. He did it, by hand, the
Hand
old school
etched.
way. Oh, hand.
So some-
Well, I don't know about hand etched. He might have had it done by a company. I don't really know. But I mean, when he laid it out, it was by hand. It was pre-computer, really,
It's so amazing.
So if you look at the old boards, it's like, no, the lines aren't straight exactly.
You
They're
can
all
see
kind
it,
of like,
right? You can kind of see the tape.
Yeah.
they did it with tape and yeah, it's crazy. It was single-sided boards. It wasn't the greatest board in the world, but
It's like
still
how Boogie did it, right?
yeah, early on, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Except much neater. Soldano
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he developed that, but he was doing mods like later. So I mean, I remember Andy Brower getting a Soldano modded Marshall that Mike did for him, and that must have been around 88-ish, 89-ish, maybe. Somewhere around there. I remember when it came, it was like a early 70s Marshall that Mike modded. He always did the neatest work. You can tell his work from a mile away. It was Teflon wire, and it was neat as a pin. It was like built like a hot rod, it was just like,
Yeah.
you can always tell.
And that's what he called it
interesting.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's right.
So yeah. So I was around for all that time. So
So when
Yeah,
did he
well,
actually start this stuff? When did Soldano actually start making the SLO? Like when did it actually
87.
officially come out?
87.
87.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at his amp as the very first boutique hot rodded Marshall-esque amp.
Yeah.
Boogie technically was a hot rodded amp, but I not in a Marshall vein.
No, it's more like hot rodded
The
Fender,
Soldano
right?
is a Marshall vein, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although different, he didn't like power supply sag and didn't like some things, and he did all that in his amp, and probably too much, but yeah.
Well, it feels overbuilt, doesn't it? Kind of in a way.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like everything in it feels like, if this could go wrong, let's make it capable of handling that. Like, bigger transformers, the parts, everything, like really tough stuff, Teflon wire.
Yeah.
The pots, like it's all kind of messy,
pots,
isn't
the
it?
powder coated chassis.
He built it like a race car.
Yeah, you can totally tell like that was his thing before doing amps and everything. So
yeah.
So was he?
absolutely.
But pre-87, was he, Dave? Was he kind of on the scene doing mods and stuff? Or like, what was?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he talked about that in our show. I just don't remember what he said.
He kind of just launched with the, hey, here's the SLO 100.
Yeah.
I think he was dabbling in stuff, but I don't think he wanted to make his own amp because nothing did exactly what he wanted to do. He was also at that time playing with guitars too. I remember being at his shop and he had all these, strange guitars that he had built and things. He's a sweetheart. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
amazing. All right.
He seems super cool.
He's a good friend. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting coming up in the time that I came up and started in the industry. It's like I saw the beginnings of all these people all at the same time. It's like Mike Soldano. Okay, I didn't see the start of that, but I basically saw the heyday of that happen, and Stevie Fryette and Bruce. I helped with starting his thing, and Bogner. I remember when he walked through the door in his flowered pants and he couldn't speak a lick of English, really. And I was there for all of it. It's really kind of fun to look back on.
Hell yeah.
Amazing
Hey, Dave,
times.
when that, so back in those days, right? So late 80s, the SLO 100 comes out. For the people in the industry that, knew how amps worked, right? Techs or people that may be dabbling in a little bit of mods or whatever. What can you remember about the reaction? Was everyone like, what the fuck is this thing? You know, how does it work? What is it? You know, like was
No,
there
man,
a-
everyone was just like, you know, oh my God, we got to get that. I got to get that amp. You know, that's the one. You know that nothing else existed, man.
yeah.
True.
You
But
had
what,
you
like,
had
the
hot
people
rodded
that-
Marshalls. You know,
but
you had
people like the techs and stuff with the amp techs, like just wanted to get inside it to figure out what the hell it was.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I really know. Really, maybe. But there was. I mean, you had. You know, Jose was modding amps since 1980, early 80s, right? And there was Lee Jackson in the 80s in Los Angeles, and those were the two biggest guys. One of those two is good. And I mean, there was a bunch of other people too, you know, like Langer and but he wasn't as big as those two. Those two by far were the biggest.
Yeah.
And with Jose probably even trumping Lee Jackson for just sheer amount. You know, someone asked me the other day, how many amps do you think he actually did or modded? I'm like,
I was
oh,
wondering
man.
this.
This has got to be a lot. A lot.
Now, how many of them still exist?
That's the other problem. I don't
That's
think
the
very
thing,
many.
right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I probably worked on 100 of them. Maybe not. Maybe it's 60 or something. But I've kind of lost count. But do they still exist? Is the question.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some also that are still there but have been fiddled with.
Yeah, there's been some that have been fiddled with. I've seen amps that come through that used to be a Jose mod, and I can tell just by all the holes and stuff. And I go, oh my God, someone reverted it to stock.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, now you just devalue the amp by putting it back to stock.
Yeah.
So it was a
completely.
$25,000 amp, but now it's a $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate
the
to
other
see
thing
that.
is, sometimes like things will come up and like someone will have an amp that's clearly got, you know, like the impedance selector switch.
Yeah.
With like the you know, what do you call the tape, you know, the
black knob, the black
like dymo, the thing that's
yeah.
punched into it, you know, like the label. And you like they don't know what they've got, but you know,
but I've seen some that are just serviced, and sometimes he would put the you know, he'd service the amp, but he hated the Marshall impedance selectors. So most of the time he would change those out. And I've seen amps, many touring guys amps and stuff that were stock for the most part, but the impedance selector was changed, you know, and it had a Jose label on it, but it never had a mod in it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of fun. I always look at all those as like an archaeological dig. Like what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in the right place in the world for that stuff as well, right?
Yeah, man.
I think so. Yeah, but now it's like anyone and everyone who has had a Jose or has a Jose. It's like, can you service this for me? Yeah, sure.
That's great.
Love to.
Definitely
I think I have seen everything now.
I haven't seen one on the used market for quite a while.
No, I think there's still one. There was one on Reverb that some guy was wanting a lot of money for that was a little bit of a wreck.
Oh, but, that's the one that was on the Don Dokken record. You know, the one that John Norum used.
Is that the one where they cut out the head shell a little bit and then added it to the? Yeah, I mean it's that's the right price, but it's beat. It's kind of beat.
It's not a nice looking example.
It's not a nice looking example, which is probably why it's not selling.
Yeah, for the
How much are they asking for it?
Like $27,000 or something.
Yeah, it's like nearly 30K, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's more. Yeah, might be a little too high.
I'm not paying that money.
It might be more like a 20K sell, maybe.
Yeah.
In
this market, maybe. Yeah, in this current market, maybe 20, maybe.
Yeah.
Everything's going for lower at the minute. Like it's kind of like
but those market. I mean, that shit's really collectible because it just doesn't come up.
Yeah, it is, but people kind of like stuff that's a little bit shiny and clean looking. So
yeah, I got one right over here.
Yeah.
On the bottom right here.
So
I
Dave,
really want one, but
what do you reckon that's worth then in today's market? Because it looks pretty clean from this angle.
It's not too bad. It's a little beat up, but and that's just a 3-in-1. So it sounds really good though. 20 to 25K.
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, look, I'll sell it, but I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it for less than 20 to 25K.
No.
Yeah.
And I already have a buyer theoretically if he's still interested. So,
Is
Well,
it,
man, it's only
push-
going to go up in value. So
yeah. Is it push
hang
pull
on to it.
master?
no,
No,
it's just a
like
3-in-1, so it's a standard.
Yeah.
It's a standard. It did have parallel gain stages on the first stage, though.
Cool.
Hello, Pete Thorne. Come say hi. He's hiding.
He was just streaming too.
You gotta
wasn't
get
he?
a little more over here. You gotta get
Yeah,
a little bit more.
streaming.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, dude?
Howdy.
What are you guys doing?
I woke up this morning and saw Pete that your stream was running, and I wondered whether we were going to crash into it. So
You guys talking about
apologize for
amplifier?
that.
Yes, we're talking about amplifiers.
Bunch of nerds. You don't drink beers?
I'm drinking beer from Lawless.
Are you?
Yeah, I went over there and bought it before I came here. I know.
You guys know about this lawless beer?
Oh yeah,
We've
Yeah,
heard this.
we showed.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
this is from the brewery across the road, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you go there with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
took me.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that was the last time I was across, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay. Are we
Let's
ready to
pull
look
some
at
out.
a
Yeah. Let's move on to the
let's
See what
get
we got
Time
here.
for, time for the deep dive.
time for the deep
right.
dive.
Let's go down this
Okay.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Ah,
Let's do it.
what are you pulling up first?
Well, I think we need to look at the SLR, don't we,
Okay.
to begin with. So this is I'm going to give credit to Jed here, who I remember asking him this question a couple of years ago. So he drew this, and this is the official scheme on Slow Clone, and it's definitely accurate.
Yeah.
So what?
And it's got voltages. Sweet.
It's got voltages, right? So I think what we want to really do is kind of obviously focus on the gain channel. We can kind of go and look at what's going on the clean side of things, but I think everyone.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
No, it's not,
Yeah.
I'm being diplomatic. No one gives a shit about the clean channel.
No one gives a shit.
We wanted to talk about the gain channel. So, trying to, I guess we need to kind of try and make this as a logical flow as possible. So, Dan, your suggestion just before we came on air, I think was a good one, which is like maybe we start by focusing on the differences between this and the dual rectifier, which was
Yeah.
probably the closest thing to
Yeah,
to
exactly.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they really are like parallels of the same thing, it's like, whereas the 5150 kind of starts to have a few different things going on. So probably makes sense to dive into this one first.
Yeah. So my first question is, can people actually, is this coming through these?
Yeah.
Is that's like zoomed in enough?
I can see it.
I can see
I
it.
can see everything clearly.
All right. All right. Who wants to take us through it? Who wants to have first crack?
Well,
talk
you brought
about
it up,
the
so
first
it's
stage?
going to be you.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll start.
yeah,
I can
you-
start, right?
Started. Yeah. you
Let's
did.
talk about. Let's just get into. Why don't we go as far as the gain pot, all right, and then take a pause for a second, and maybe we can flick over to the dual rec and maybe do this kind of just line them up gain stage by gain stage.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
rather than just going through the whole amp and then trying to do it. Okay, so I always find this interesting when I'm talking to guys, because obviously over the years I've done quite a lot of DIY help, helping people get it started and stuff like that. A lot of people do really struggle with reading or understanding schematics,
Mm-hmm.
but they can deal with layouts. which is interesting, right? But you just got to think, if anyone's never kind of navigated a schematic, you just got to think that each one of these little symbols here is like a component in your layout. So maybe, I don't know if that helps at all, but you're gonna plug your guitar into the input here, right? You got basically a 68K grid stopper into the grid of the first gain stage. So this blue thing here is one
real common JCM 800 value.
Very common JCM 800 value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our plate resistor, which is a 220K. Now, in a standard Marshall, what would it be, guys?
100K?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So the voltage is lowered a little bit, which is why it's reading 185 instead of like 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, down on the cathode here, this is a cathode resistor down here, 1.8K. What would the standard Marshall value be?
2.7K?
Yay!
0.68 cat.
Can't believe I'm asking you guys these stupid questions.
It's all good fun.
Anyway, yeah. It's always interesting to look at this stuff to kind of see the DNA too, right? Yeah, I look at the architecture of this and I can see the DNA of the 2203. But
the interesting thing is, in his Marshall mods, he left the 2.7K and the 0.68 in that first stage.
Awesome, eh?
And I actually think that sounds a little bit better than the 1.8 1 UF.
Man, I agree, man. Yeah,
but
I'm with you on that one.
But the 1 UF is essentially a little fatter than a 0.68.
Yeah.
Marginally fatter, and there's a little more gain with the 1.8K.
Yeah,
that's right. So we have talked about this a little bit on previous streams about controlling bass and bottom end and your preamp. And I think Dan or Dave or Shay, you might have as well. I can't remember, but we've talked a bit about how you can choose that value.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Focus on where you kind of want the high pass to cut off.
Yeah.
There's a really cool online calculator for that, actually. On the what is that website that has all those cool calculators?
Is it Amp Books?
Amp Books.
Amp Books.
Yeah, Amp Books.
If anyone hasn't checked that out, I'd recommend it. Okay.
Yeah.
But doesn't this, so the 1.8K and the 1 UF, doesn't it have the same curve as the 2.7K and the 0.68? I think it does.
It's got to be pretty close. I mean, but the thing is, the feel is a bit different.
Yeah.
I think you get a bit more percussive note attack when you go like with the standard Marshall value.
Yeah.
But when you go down to the 1.8, you get like kind of a little bit more. I don't know, like it's hard to describe in guitar playing terms, but like you feel a little bit more squish.
Yeah.
Like with a 1 UF and 1.8K, it's the same if you drop that 1.8 down to like something like a 1K or an 820 ohm. You know, the more you drop that down, the more you're gaining out that stage. So you are kind of, you're reducing your headroom a little bit. You're kind of adding a little bit of compression to the response.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
but it's all
a
balancing. It's all a balancing act, It's all a balancing act, though. So like you could have this, 1 UF and 1.8K, and you then could change the coupling cap to shelve some of the bass frequencies off again, and probably in the end get a roughly the same kind of response. Or you can change the cathode cap across the 1.8K to a slightly different value to lean it out or make a frequency poke out more, or it's sort of endless what you could do.
Yeah.
You can drive yourself insane.
As we usually do.
Yeah, always.
Well, so given how many variables there are that you can play with, this is why this comparison is super interesting, because they didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Certainly
I know. Yeah, well, yeah. So then we have the 22 nanofarad out of there.
Yeah, 22 nanofarad coupling cap. We can
pretty full range, very full range.
Very full range. Also,
that is JCM 800 though, right there.
JCM 800. Yeah, this is it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then into this little network here with this treble peaker across
Yeah.
a 470k resistor, also
JCM
like an
800.
800,
Yep.
except
Absolutely.
right.
500K
the 800
volume.
has the 800 has 470k and a 470 picofarad, whereas we've got a 2.2 nanofarad here. Okay.
Yeah.
Way
So you're
more
looking
into
at
the
a little
mid
bit
range.
more, yeah, you're looking at a little bit more thickness there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
way more
just
into
a
the
bit
mid-range.
more. It's still nice and bright and everything, but there's just a bit more body to it.
Yeah. And then into a 500k gain pot.
Yeah.
Okay. Stock 800 would be a 1 meg.
Which
and
is
switchable.
So it's a little less gain, slightly less gain because of the 500k gain pot. A little more
right.
controlled.
That's right. but
Probably
tighter.
a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And a 1 nanofarad switchable bright cap.
Which
Okay.
on a Soldano is not switchable.
No.
All right.
So on the
This is
actual
a-
SLO 100, this one has a switch on it. So
Yeah, it's
that
straight.
switch was known as the Warren Haynes mod.
Yeah, true.
So you take out the bright cap so he could turn the gain lower and get a cleaner tone, basically, is how that worked with less brightness.
Doesn't get so
Because
skinny, does it?
1 nanofarad bright cap, really, you can
Yes.
only use on a Soldano, at least, you can only use the gain from like 5 to 10. Well, not even 10. On an SLO, it's really 5 to 7 that you really can use the gain, because anything after 7 is mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything below, say, 5 is starting to get a little anemic. So
Yeah.
There's actually a note there, Dave. I mean, you can
Where?
see up here.
Oh,
right?
over there.
Install switch 3 for Warren Haynes mod.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
There you go. So you're right on the
Yeah.
money.
And then here's the interesting thing. So then Mike put a really large grid stopper,
Grid
Yeah.
stopper
Yeah.
right there, 470, massive.
That's
which
different.
that was a different thing. That rolls off a ton of top end
Hmm.
with the Miller capacitance of the tube. So
100%.
Yeah.
I sort of like, it works in an SLO, but I sort of hate doing that big
Yeah.
of one.
It has a certain sound, doesn't it?
It has a
Well,
certain
yeah.
sound, but it's a little mucky for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like-
seems like it was an attempt to stop blocking distortion. You know, like
Maybe.
it seems like it was, but the thing is, you kind of get to a point where when you get big enough with a grid stopper, I mean, obviously, as you all know, the noise gets out of control when you have a
Yeah.
grid stopper that big. It's like one of the noisiest components in the whole amp, probably
Yeah.
the noisiest. And if you go too high with that value, I mean, you start to end up almost with a similar feel to like what happens when you actually have a bit of blocking distortion.
Mhm.
There's a sweet spot. Like if you go too far with it, it does kind of get that flubby, bloated kind of it just darkens things up. It makes the amp feel real swampy and weird. It's not like the greatest thing, but in the right circuit, it works. In this circuit, I guess it works because there's a reason this circuit's so famous. It's got a sound to it, but I mean, it's not really a value I think most people would pick nowadays for a design.
The funny thing on an SLO is I find that the gain pot is almost useless. It's such a small margin of a good tone.
I know,
Like,
man.
5
5's kind of where it is, you
to
know?
6.
Yeah, I agree,
Kind of.
man.
5 to
Yeah.
6, much more, maybe 6.5. Okay.
Yeah.
But that is the only spot you can really use the gain pot, and it works. But I think that's all a combination of a whole mess there, So like you have the 470K after it, that comes into play. You have the thick, big, fat coupling cap out of the first stage. It's a little too much low end on, I think. I mean, SLOs for me, I want to see that first coupling cap way lower, and then it sounds way better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so I mean, you can go with an SLO, you can go as low as like 500 picofarad on that first coupling cap. And it gets really good then. Really cool. But you can also change the 470K to a smaller value.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then balance out the coupling cap. So it's all everything's a balancing act.
Yeah.
That's
a very
the thing
distinctive, but that of like a 470K grid stopper on the second stage. Again, when you look at the circuit and you think of what are the kind of unusual or signature kind of things, that sticks out to me. You know, we haven't even got to the 39K cathode yet, so that's obviously another whole thing. But
I had one SLO that came through that was made for Akira Takasaki originally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And there was a mistake in it. So instead of the 470K there, it was a 68K.
Oh wow.
And the input grid one was the 470K.
Oh dear.
The input grid one.
That was the
and the funny thing is, it sounded really good.
How?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Must be noisy though, right? On that.
Yeah, it was noisy. Yes, it was hissing.
Grid.
For sure.
Yeah, hiss like crazy.
Massively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like Jose, like would not do input grid resistors at all.
Yeah. Some guys are like that. Like
on the input,
the same, weren't they?
And he did a 220 or a 250 picofarad cap to ground. And that was in every amp I've ever saw, you know. And it's super quiet.
Yeah, it works
because there's no until you put a pedal in front of it. So the minute you stick some sort of circuitry in front of the amp, the quietness goes completely away again, and you get all the hiss back because you're going through some sort of active circuitry, and it has the Miller capacitance again, and
right.
You know that kind of setup though without the grid stopper, I find at least where I live,
RF,
like RF, and also really badly that picks up the Wi-Fi noises and things. That really fucks with it terribly. So like I'm sort of like reluctant to never put no grid stopper, like even just a bare minimum resistance. Something is kind of better than
gotta have something.
Nothing,
this is I remember when we had when I was doing a few of these streams back in 23, and we had Kyle Rhodes on Shade. Remember that? And Kyle told the story about how he got started with modding and building and so on. And he was in a basement, like down underground, right? All his amps were dead fucking quiet, amazing. And then he eventually pulled one upstairs, and he's like picking up radio and all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
Interesting thing that Mike Fortin did was he did some amps with a ferrite bead in place of the input grid resistor.
I mean, we're gonna get there when we do the dual rectifier, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, now let's go and have a look at it, right? Because that 470K grid stopper on second stage is a good place to flick over. So
let's go to the other one and
so this was a pretty early. I've got a couple of versions of a dual rec here, but I think this was an earlier one that was probably certainly easiest to compare to.
Something like pre-Rev G or something is ideal.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this first gain stage right up here. Okay, so what did we have in the SLO? We remember we had a 68K grid stopper, and there's no grid stopper on this, but the dual rec was, as you just said, Shay, right? That was using ferrite beads on here. So there is a little difference here. So we'll mark that in as a not being a dead straight copy.
Right. There's a big difference there in tone. I mean, there's a huge difference between that ferrite bead and that 68K input on the slow.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing in the dual rectifier that we'll talk about too, that I think kind of was because of that ferrite bead. They did something in the tone stack. I think that there's something else there, because you're going to get. Are you going to pull up the schematic, Jason, for the rectifier?
Oh,
You're not sharing it on screen.
Good. I didn't miss it.
It hasn't
There we go.
refreshed.
Oh,
Okay, so I might
I'm
need
looking,
to.
waiting for it, and thinking it's the delay on my.
Here I am
my
looking at this.
computer.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at my other. I'm looking at the other screen over here,
Yeah.
and it's refreshed for me. And then I look over on
Yeah,
StreamYard, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, same. I get a delay between it because I'm using
What
the phone
the hell?
to.
So I might need to. Let me just try this. I'll just take this down
Yeah.
and then reshare it. Oh fuck! Still hasn't done it. Okay, let me try again. I think I know why. It likes to have them as completely separate windows.
No.
There we go.
Hey,
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one to read right there.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you can read it. There we go.
Okay, so here we are again, guys, at the input. Okay, so we were talking about the grid stopper, or the lack of on this
Yeah,
first input
nothing.
state.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, straight in. So definitely a difference there. So we'll give that a tick. It's not a dead copy there, and as you said, Shay, right, that definitely makes a difference to the tone in a quite significant way. But look at
let's
the
see. Plate resistor, same.
Yeah, I know. So let's look at the setup.
1.8K with a 1 UF, same, because the other thing is for a cleaner channel, the LDR that's there.
That's right.
Same coupling cap.
Same coupling cap.
And let's see. Okay, ever so slightly different. Same peaker on the one.
Yeah.
On the dirtier channel, with a slightly different resistor.
Yeah, so we had 470K.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, slightly bigger there, but this is the same value peak cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going to make a ton of difference.
No, it's not night and day different. It's a subtle thing. I mean, the peaker kind of does a little bit more because there's a bigger resistance for it to bypass. But you know, essentially, you know, your resistance is kind of essentially limiting the lower frequencies and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
1 meg pod.
We've got the 2.2 meg to ground before that as well, between the 0.02 and the 0.02.
Yeah, this R321 here, there is a 2.2 meg to ground.
Yep.
That resistor alone is just doing so much for that amp. That is like when people talk about the flub of a Mesa, this is it right here. R 321.
Why?
So the Soldano that we had come through when Jason was here, you know, basically in this spot, he had a 330K. So just imagine that was a 330K, right?
Cleaner.
Yeah.
It just cleans up. It cleans up the circuit so much.
Yeah, it tightens it up.
Clean. Yes.
The 2.2 meg though, you're going to be hard to hear it.
It's subtle. Yeah, it's definitely subtle.
Really subtle.
It's almost just open at that point, isn't it? But it's I think what Shay's saying is that you can tune and tighten up a rec massively by playing with that value, as in reducing it, right? If you want to get into
100%.
Tightening the thing
up. If you want to get into modifying a rec, which don't highly recommend doing, but we all have done it, but I don't highly recommend it.
That's right.
Because no matter what you do, it's still going to be noisy as fuck.
So what on the
not the most user friendly app to work on either.
So on the Soldano, we had the gain pot after the first stage, right?
Yep. After that, this treble peaker here, right? The point we were just talking about before, the 0.002, 470.
So these are 1 meg here.
1 meg. And the way I'm reading these LDRs, they're not in parallel, are they? These game pots.
No, they're not in parallel. So you have a 1 meg load there.
It's a 1 meg load for sure.
But you do have that 2.2 meg sitting there before.
True.
So if you calculate that load, it's similar
Yeah, it's
680.
on that stage, on the output
Yeah, yeah.
stage.
Now a slight curveball, because all of the Rev Fs and the Rev Gs that I've worked on, they didn't have 1 meg gain pots.
Right.
They all
What'd they
had
have?
250k.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, they had
Yep.
two. They all had 250k audio taper gain pots.
Well, that
That
would be
makes a
tighter.
massive difference.
Huge
Yeah.
difference. That'd be tighter.
Yeah, but the
way
interesting thing is they feel gainier and the gain kicks in quicker. Because if you look at the pot, if you look at 1 meg pot, you know, the input of the pot to the wiper, the resistance there versus the resistance between the wiper to ground.
Mm-hmm.
With the log taper, you've got a bigger resistance there on the first part of the pot, you know, before it comes out of the wiper.
Yeah.
Whereas with the 250k pot, there's a smaller limiting resistance at the beginning of the pot.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you've got a quicker action. It's coming into play quicker. Because I've done a lot of mods with those where I've actually swapped the 250ks out for 1 megs. The 1 meg comes on way slower. So the 1 meg feels a little bit more like it feels more controlled, which is a weird thing. It doesn't when you get beyond 3 o'clock or 2-3 o'clock, but everywhere before that point actually feels a bit more controlled.
Yeah.
When you go with the 250k pot, or it might have been a 220k, I'm not even sure off the top of my head, it's something like that, but it comes on quicker and you're in gainy territory long before you would get to it on the 1 meg.
Right.
So that's the difference. Now, I've never worked on anything that was before Rev F. So I've worked on some of those like Chrome chassis Rev Fs, but I've never had like a Rev D or a Rev C or anything like that. So I can't compare. I don't know if they had 1 meg pots. Probably they did. But yeah, at least the Fs and the Gs that I worked on, they were all 250k game pots. So that's the slight curveball versus what the schematic says.
Yeah, I think, well, this schematic might be, I don't know about this schematic, because I think a lot of them are 250K, even the newer ones. I just have to refresh my memory because it's been a while since I worked on one, but I think they are 250.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I think there were some 1 meg ones. Like I said, I reckon it's the earliest ones.
I'm looking at just real quick here. This is so I'm looking at I won't bother bringing it up, but the 3-channel multi-watt.
Yeah.
250k.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 250k.
In stock form, without modding the amp, I actually probably like the 250k more.
Well, that would make sense.
If you just swap the gain pot out, just put a 1 meg in there and try it instead. You know, it's a little bit fiddly because there's a bunch of, it's like some, shielded wires and stuff on there, and you got to get the cap off. But still, if you just try it and swap it out if you have one, it's fun to try it because I mean you can also put perhaps a 1 meg on one channel and a 250k on the other, because the channels are like kind of relatively similar. And you can kind of A/B test it against each other and see what you like more. But I think in stock form, I like the 250k or anything up to like a 500k is cool. But the 1 meg, it's sort of,
But
so
after the gain pot, I mean, we're pretty much still the 470K.
So this is 470k, right? So we mentioned, and we looked at the SLO, we said that 470k grid stopper on the second stage is a very distinctive value.
Yeah.
And so we've,
there we are.
We know where this came from.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
This is like fingerprints on the thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's funny. I just looked up. The even the triple rectifier is 250Ka.
Yeah.
Pot, which is interesting. Make more sense.
It does. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so this 20 picofarad to ground here is not in the SLO, is it? So that's a little slight difference there. Tiny value.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably stemmed from oscillation that they couldn't get rid of because of their poor design.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean,
Well, they've also got the snubber on the plate up here too, so it could have been
Yeah. So I wanted to get to that because that's also, let's look back to the slow here for a second. I've just tried to lift this in so
could
that
be
we
about
don't
the Ferrite beam.
I don't need to go back and forward all the time. Okay, so this is where we're at. So let's talk about the second gain stage, right? 100K plate, as you said, Shay, there's no snubber on here.
nope.
Okay. Again, the cathode setup is exactly the same as the first gain stage. 1.8, 22 out, and then let's have a look here. We've got a 470K and a 1 meg divider, and then no grid stopper into the next stage.
Very.
Should we
go back to the boogie? Yeah.
I'm not going to see it. Where is it? Oh, sorry, guys.
Big.
Just zooming in and out. It's going to be a bit of a pain. Here we go. Running these in the same window is not easy.
100K.
Okay, here we are.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yep.
Everything's exactly the same.
1.8 cathode with a 1 microfarad, 100K plate. The snubber here is different. Again, probably put in to control some oscillation rather than a voicing.
Well,
decision.
if you had like 5
Are we talking about C12
LDRs stacked up?
Yeah. Are we talking is C12 or C55 for the snubber?
C55 at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
So C55. If you lift that, holy shit! Will you get some treble? That is a huge voicing mod. That one is that's not a simple snubber. That is a big time voicing mod. It looks like it would just be a snubber to get some oscillation out, but if you lift one end of that, it
cuts a lot of top end.
Massive amount of treble back.
Yeah.
So that one I think was kind of thrown into. Now it could even be that the circuit came out brighter than they wanted it to because of the PCB design.
Yeah.
Could be the layout just triggered some
too.
sort of interaction in there. There might be some.
That's true, Shay. You don't have the 68K grid stopper on the first stage, right? So that makes a huge difference.
Inputs
that's a huge
exactly. Yeah, you're not losing some stuff on the way in, so there's that. Now there's something in this that isn't on the schematic.
What's that?
There's one of Mesa Boogie's magic little tricks in the amp, and it's a little piece of bus wire. Like kind of fairly thick, really stiff bus wire that is soldered to the one side of the heater supply. It's pin 9, if I'm thinking right. And it's hanging over near the grid of one of the stages. It's leaning over and it's covered in hot glue to stop it from moving and shorting out against anything.
And it is doing what?
For what purpose?
Well, so I've also seen a few similar tricks in boogies, like the magic wire trick, where like in the old Mark ones, there's actually a wire that's connected to one of the output tube's plates or screens. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've got it written down or plotted out somewhere. And it's just one end of it is connected to the high voltage, the plate, I think it might even be, of one side of the output transformer. And then it's sitting right on the preamp PCB, laying on it, and it's been glued. To get some kind of a coupling. It's essentially triggering some form of coupling or interaction there. Now, I didn't remove it because, quite honestly, it was there, it was stable. I never took it off. But it was there for a reason, and I know from a few other people who have worked on those things that all of them have that thing, and every single Rev F and Rev G that rectifier I've worked on has had that piece of wire that is bent over at an angle and hanging around right near the plate and the grid of the stage before it.
Probably a shielding thing.
Well, yeah, it's probably acting like some sort of a shield. Your heaters are ground referenced. And it's
a shield.
Around. Yeah, it's basically acting like a grounded shield kind of thing.
Look, these amps are so poorly executed as far as the PCB and everything else about the design, at least in the older ones, especially, you know, where we have LDRs stacked to the heavens, you know, and stuff, and the one that breaks is always at the bottom.
Been there.
And my poor friend that's dearly departed at this point, he always said that, yeah, it's always the fucking one at the bottom.
always.
And he goes, and then you break half the other ones taking it apart.
Yeah, absolutely. They're hard to get now, those BTL 5C ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to get the slower ones now.
So guys, I'm just going back to this. I've just been looking at C55 again.
Yeah,
it's a cap to ground. It's not a plate snubber.
Oh shit!
No, it's a cap to ground. But
so the plate snubber is the 0.001 on the next stage, right? And we know that makes that's a freaking huge difference there. Yeah. And I looked at the multi-wide, and that's not there. C55 is not there. So that's more like on a filter, like on a node filter.
It's essentially acting more like a filter in a way, more than a snubber. But it definitely has quite an impact on the sound. It's an interesting one just to lift it and put it back. You don't even have to solder like the other leg back. Just leave one soldered and the other one and just touch it against it, and you just hear the hiss go like.
It's also not on a triple rectifier. That cap's gone.
Yeah. No,
triples. Triples don't have it, I don't think.
No, this is just an early thing. Doesn't seem to be doing much.
So there's probably it could even be that there was something again like in the PCB layout that wasn't kind of acting the way they thought it would act, and maybe that was just shunting some high frequencies out, and it's kind of like a belt and braces kind of thing.
Yeah, and then eventually they just realized they didn't need it, so sorted it out. Okay.
Yeah, probably just changed the design later on to compensate.
So the coupling cap, the 470K and the 1 meg divider with no grid stopper into the next stage, bang on the same.
Yep.
And then the 39K cathode.
39K. Fancy that.
Soldano.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and 100K with the 001 across it.
Yep.
Same thing.
So let's talk about this for a second, right? So the 100K, the 0.01, 0.001, the 39K. So for anyone who doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, how do we describe what this 39K
cold clipper?
The coldest of clippers.
The coldest of clippers.
Yeah, the ice cold
frigid cold.
It's like Antarctica clipper.
So is there any truth to the myth about this, where he actually was supposed to be putting in a 3.9K and it was a mistake?
I don't know. I don't know that for a fact.
Because I heard
that would make sense
2 or 3 times. I heard it 2 or 3 times. I'm sure it came from him one time.
Maybe.
But I just don't remember.
So I can remember because I was a student of this stuff. I would just watch and absorb every single bit of information, amp information I could possibly find. When Mike Soldano was on Tone Talk,
did he say that?
No. What he said was, I remember what he said. He said he had it up on scope, and he said, you guys will know when you put scope on after that cold clipper stage.
Oh yeah,
the wave is really asymmetric, right? You get kind of like
hacked off.
It's inverted. Yeah, it's clipped. Like you can see it on the down part of the sine wave. You can see it's reasonably still got shape, and then it's just a hard on the upside, right?
Yeah.
And he said he continued to increase that value of that resistor on that cathode until the wave looked a bit more symmetrical to him on the scope.
Okay.
And he went all the way. And he said 39K was it. That was where it looked good on the scope. And then he listened to it and went, oh, yeah, sounds great.
Oh, right on.
Perfect.
Great.
So it was it wasn't a.
I don't even remember what was on my own show. After you do hundreds of them, you're like, did we even interview that person?
How could you remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was that one was committed to the brain when I.
We've literally gone. Hey, we should. Like Mark will say, hey, we should have so and so on. I'm like, yeah, we did already.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
We did.
Pre-run.
Yeah.
You
All right, if
guys
we
are
go
almost
back-
kind of getting to that point in your show, the Tone Talk show. It's like some of that stuff is so old. It'd probably be cool to have them back on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
go for it.
Yeah. We've had multiple people come back before,
Yeah.
but yeah, revisit. What are you doing now? What's going on now? You know.
Yeah, totally.
So if we look at this stage, so here's back to the original,
Oh God.
right? 100K plate. There's the 1 nanofarad plate snubber across it.
Mhm.
Yep.
39K is right here. So this is
Mhm.
all, it's
Same.
identical. So here's an interesting question. There's a lot of other amplifiers out on the market today that are new design, stuff that's only been done maybe in the last 5 or 10 years or something like that, still using the 39K resistor.
Lots of
Sure. Mesa Barbara.
Yeah, well,
They seem kind of Soldano
Driftwood?
inspired.
we could probably name 4 or 5 if we tried.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't want to say them.
No, I don't want to say
No. I already said a couple. Whoops.
I'm friends with these people. I don't want to
No,
say
I mean it's okay. No, I mean it's fine. You can't. I mean, look. I
Okay,
mean, you could say through all of our products, you could say, that's Marshall. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, man.
That's
No,
that.
yeah. Look,
And like,
100%.
look, man, it's like at this point,
Yeah.
it's like free interpretation of whatever you want to do with
Yeah,
circuit,
yeah.
and you take a whole bunch of knowledge and stuff, and you try to create something that is uniquely yours. Still, so
100%, man. And I'm not kind of saying that to say that. I'm saying like, but why choose 39K? Okay, so why wouldn't you go
33K?
33, 27, 22?
10.
I don't know,
10,
really.
15,
Yeah,
because
like, is it
I have-
big? Like,
It's just easy to look at something and copy something.
I have modded Soldanos where I change that value.
Yeah.
To
I've done the same
like
with the rectifiers.
several other, like one position on the switch is the stock value, and then one maybe is a 10K, and one maybe
how
is
big a difference was it tonally, Dave?
pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big, yeah. 39K to 10K is reasonably large. And
It's a nice change.
and then if you put a cap across it, oh my god, holy shit.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Yeah.
How about a 10K with a 0.1 across it, baby?
Oh yeah, that's gonna
That's
gonna-
just
some things.
peel the paint off the wall
Mhm.
Yeah.
in
It's
kind
really
of a cool
It's
way.
really cool though if
Pretty
you
cool.
if you adjust everything else for it. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can't really just slap a cap across it without like tweaking
Yeah.
what comes after. You know, it's
Yeah.
like there
Yeah.
has to be a little bit of adjustment there, but still, but it's definitely cool. Like whenever I mod the rectifiers, like I've done tons of those things, and yeah, I've reduced the 39K down lower. Sometimes it's lower with a cap. Sometimes it's just a
Very bad.
resistance, but it's like a quarter of the value, like 10K or something, or 15K. But I always think like it's rather than treat it like a set recipe that you kind of always do. It's best to try everything, you know, when you're sitting there voicing this stuff when you've modded something. So I
Yeah.
always have you know, I've always got like decade boxes and stuff clipped in, and I'll try like I made some decade boxes that have got parallel cap options and stuff, like so I can flick them in real time, and they're really valuable for this kind of work. So yeah, I use that stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'll sit there and I'm just sitting there playing away and trying things, even really ridiculous extreme values and stuff. But you know, combinations of bypass caps, limited bypass caps sometimes, all kinds of different tricks like that. It can yield some pretty cool results. So yeah, there's tons of room to experiment with that 39K cold clipper. But if you're looking at it like the original circuit, essentially the purpose of that, it's a gain reduction stage, but at
Exactly.
the same time,
Yeah.
it's a gain reduction stage, but at the same time, it's adding a tonal quality, because when you've got
Yes.
asymmetric distortion, when you clip, you know, the top half of the wave and the bottom half stays the same, you get kind of a crunchy tonal character. It adds some kind of a grit to the sound, I always think, when you have a cold clipper going. And
A
that
little bit fuzzy.
39K really swings. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It has
It's like a
It
dirty
has a
sound.
sound for sure. You can tell. You can usually
Yeah,
tell.
it's a dirty sound, and obviously the harder you drive it, that's the thing with a cold clipper. You know, if you don't put enough signal into a cold clipper, it won't cold clip. You know, it won't do anything. But as soon as you hit it with a pretty strong signal, it starts to clip, and you get that kind of you get some interesting harmonics. You know, you can obviously, like, you know, you can see that kind of stuff on like a spectrum analyzer and everything, and yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely a cool thing, and it's even interesting to throw a cold clipper into a circuit that kind of has way too many gain stages. You know, this is 4 stages, but like, let's say if you had a 5 gain stage circuit or something, or 6 stages, you know, you can throw in a cold clipper, and it will reduce the gain down to maybe where you'd be if you only had 4 stages.
Yeah. But
you get some tonal characteristics that you wouldn't otherwise get just from having a low gain stage.
That's true.
So
there's a few comments in the chat here I'm going to go to, guys. So I'll try and keep.
Go
these
ahead.
Guys
We need to talk.
But there's some good observations here on this as we've gone through it. So yeah, wrong value gain pots.
It doesn't always. It's not always wrong. The original rectifiers had the 1 megs.
Yeah,
I verified that.
Okay. Someone says it's an intentional error. I'm not sure about that, but definitely some variation there. So we've got Michael here from MI Audio. Hey, Mike, you got some good observations in this chat, man. I want to bring them up. So when the LDR is on, that 680K is in parallel with the 2.2 meg, which is about 500K. So that means that
not the same.
It's the same. The 2.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of saying with the 2.2 and
exactly. Some comments on that C55 that we originally described as a plates number, which is not. So yeah, it's in parallel with the power supply cap. Absolutely right. Yeah, not a typical plate snubber. And Scott is saying that it's just on the filtering node with a lot less ESR. Michael says, I suspect it was there to filter out some power supply noise. Yeah. Okay. Nice, guys.
Yeah.
Keeping us.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Helping us out,
real quick. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's all good. Helping us out. So just on this one, Clipfish Carsten saying, would it make a sonic difference to lower the 39K along with the plate resistor to keep the overall gain of the stage the same?
Yeah, but then it won't clip the same. At least I don't think it will. You know, a general, just an average kind of low gain stage isn't going to behave the same way as a stage that clips hard asymmetrically on one side. At least not in my experience. But it's worth a shot. Like, play around with it. That's the only way to kind of find out. Just get your hands dirty. And
there you go.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll mess around with it with the next one I do. Because you can look at this stuff on paper and think like it makes sense. But
yeah, no. Eventually, you just have to try it, don't you?
Yeah, you've really got to try it. You don't know how it reacts.
Yeah.
I'm just hit this super chat from Yagi. Thanks, dude. We appreciate it. Thank you for the discussion, gents, and continuing to do this panel. Yeah, no worries. Absolutely invaluable content for current and future amp enthusiasts and new builders to learn from. Fun hang as well. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Right on. Thanks.
We just had another super chat just come in. Stormlight Architect, thinking about an Evolve MC or MTR build next. Wizard topology next pod? ? So there's a suggestion for a future topic. What are the a Wizard topology review? Yeah, well, maybe. Interested in your general takes on overall PI, power supply, and rectification in the industry for future episodes as well. All right, man. Thanks. That's good ideas. Good ideas for future future shows there, man. We'll take note of that for sure.
So going back to the schematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Let's
We're
loop
right
back
past
in.
the right
Coupling
past
cap.
Yep, we're right there.
And
Okay.
basically 2.2 meg is just so the LDR doesn't pop.
Mhm.
330K to ground is totally the SLO.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
220K input grid resistor to the phase or to the cathode follower is right out of the SLO.
This is the SLO.
Oh, this is the
schematic.
SLO.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, Jason.
Sorry, man. You got no idea how hard this is.
No,
Yeah,
you're good.
this is the no,
You're
this is the
doing good,
boogie.
man.
Well, this is the SLO.
This
We
is
actually
the
use this
SLO.
is the
That's
SLO.
the
scheme.
SLO. Okay, go.
So let's
Sorry, go back to the
let's go to
boogie.
the boogie. So let's go to the boogie, and then I'll just zoom out again.
My bad.
There's these, the problem is the scale of these two drawings, and because I got them in the same window,
Mhm.
I just have to do a little bit of fiddling to fucking bring them back in. Okay, so we need to go down to the next.
Yep.
Sorry, I need to go down to the second half of this.
All good. And there's that 330K.
And there's that 330K, and there's the 220K,
and the 220K on the
and
grid.
220K plate resistor, and the same cathode cap and cathode resistor, the same 100K cathode resistor on feeding the EQ, and then we can look at the EQ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where it does change some.
Yeah.
it does.
Well,
Okay. Well, what we
little
have
bit.
in the SLO before we get to this tone stack, obviously, is that fix loop.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah, but let's. I actually should have drug out the original non-effects loop schematic for you, because the non-effects loop schematic is
Well, so but so the seen in return stages are just gone, Dave. You just come straight out of this. I'm assuming
you come straight out of this 100K into
It looks
the EQ.
just like this, right?
Yeah, it looks just like that.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, I remember when Mike was offering amps, this was an option for a no loop amp, and a vast majority of people preferred the no loop amp.
Yeah. Okay, sidebar
like-
question here, because this is something I've debated with amp friends of mine. Does the SLO loop, right, that pre-tone stack loop, even when you don't run anything in it, you just connect the send and then return, so your signal's going through all those stages.
Mhm.
Is there any tone? Is there a tone there? How much?
There's not tone there. I think it's worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've like all of Warren DeMartini's amps now. I've taken that completely out of.
Yep.
And he prefers it much better. You know, like many amps, early amps, he had that option. You know, that I remember selling these amps when I was at Making Music, and many people chose the non-loop amps because the loop didn't work for shit.
Mm.
I mean, it didn't.
Yeah. It's wrong.
It really
place.
was kind of useless, you know. And the only thing you could put in is some really high headroom, like rack mount effect. You forget about modern day pedals or anything. It's really kind of useless. And it just sounds a little. I mean, it's not like radically different, but it sounds a little less congested without it.
Mm.
It's a little clearer.
Well,
And I
suppose
have
these
actually
things-
done this AB.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still sounds like an SLO. It's not like make or break. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
I've seen guys who have built. You know, there's obviously in the DIY world, there's a crap load of SLO clones out there. People have built as part of their, part of their journey, and a lot of them, even though they won't use the effects loop, they will include that in their circuit because they believe that there's some magic in there, you know.
Yeah, except the original amp never had the effects
Never
loop.
had it. Yeah, well, there you go.
You know
And
what?
so the one he first developed and then later still offered. So Yeah, I just don't. What I find crazy about these schematics and the boogies is coming off the. Well, first of all, have you looked at the voltages?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's incredibly high.
They are
Yeah,
high.
the
Pound
voltages
per
are hot.
follower.
Yeah, the voltages
Holy
are hot
crap.
on the boogie. They're not dropping
216
as
volts
much.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say on the filtering line, they're not dropping as much as you would typically see elsewhere on
No.
other amps. Normally you'll see values of things like 10K, etc. And with the boogies, you typically see low value resistors. So there's higher preamp voltages, higher phase inverter voltages, and which is incredibly stressful on components if you work on boogies,
especially the LDRs.
Yeah, LDRs,
216 volts.
Exactly. And the other thing is, most of those boogies have got 400-volt rated orange drops in them.
That's
and
right.
They almost always fail in the phase inverter.
Yeah.
The two output caps usually fail, and you get a red plate in on one side or whatever, and that's the giveaway that it's usually your output caps. But yeah, everything's being like stressed to hell.
Yeah. Go back left a little bit, Jason. Go back left just a hair. Because there's that 220K plate on the go back just a little bit left.
Yeah.
That has a very specific tone too.
Agree.
You guys have played with that much.
Yeah, I'll play with that. Yeah.
It has a feel and a sound that it has a thing. Very
It's actually a cool thing to try on a Marshall, right? Playing around with that.
Yeah. Sometimes it can work pretty well.
Yeah. So look, it's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more hairy.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it at 100K in this circuit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Many of the Marshalls I saw modded left the 100K. And even some of his amps later left the 100K. And not to 220.
If you look at the Marshall JVM, they've got a 220K plate at the end of the preamp, haven't they?
Yes, they do.
But they use a 47K cathode follower.
I mean, it's all sort of relative, though. Because look at what's the voltage going in?
Yeah.
I mean, you have 415 volts.
That's
hitting on the one side of that 220, and it's 213 coming out. So is it really? I mean.
So this is the you push it, the old cathode to heater voltage. If you look at the data sheets, right, for 12AX7s, they always specify maximum heater to cathode voltage, which is one of the reasons why some people elevate their heaters.
I mean,
216. It's just.
216 on the cathode. It's basically, it says 216, 213 here, but I actually, that doesn't make sense. But coming out of that 220K resistor is still 213. In a Marshall, you're going to see more like 170.
Yeah.
So actually having this 220K is actually probably bringing it down more where it needs to be on this first stage, at least.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, man, because it's a way of actually biasing that cathode follower.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of voltage.
Yeah. It's hot. You don't
Which
want
is why
you don't want to be putting Russian preamp tubes in those.
You don't want to put the EH 12AX7s there. In fact,
I'm saying, right? Just chew them out and spit them out. Chew them up and spit them out.
Yeah. They don't.
All right, so the EQ.
Let's go.
So the orange channel.
Start with the orange.
The orange channel is the SLO.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so what are the distinctive things in here that
47K.
Okay, so here's our slope resistor. Let me get here we go, right here. 47K,
500 picofarad, and everything else is standard.
0.02, 0.02. Okay, standard Marshall values here.
And the
240K.
only difference with the red channel is it's a slightly larger treble cap. So
680,
slight
680.
bit more mid boost.
Yeah.
But not intense, just a little bit more, you know. But other than that, it's exactly the same. So these are again all SLO values.
Yeah,
now
the red channel has a bit more like that kind of honky mid thing happening.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah,
680.
it's more mids on the 680.
Definitely.
And then you got the
network off the treble.
Yeah, this
wiper.
is the faux
This is the presence.
faux presence.
Yeah.
And it's just a pot, and it's just a way to shelve high end off.
Can we just
Right.
before we jump into that, can we just I want to bring up the tone stake of the SLO, right? So that the folks can see.
Yeah. Let's
make sure like the guys can see like where this thing all happens. We are down here.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so this is from the previous stage. Now we said in the orange channel we had 500 picofarad, 470, whatever.
Same thing.
It's the same freaking thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's close
This
enough.
47K slope resistor is another very distinctive thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit like the 39K or the 470K grid that we, input grid resistor we saw on the second stage. This 47K I think is quite distinctive. And clearly just was lifted straight from this amp. No doubt about it. Obviously the EQ pots, treble bass emitted just straight Marshall tone stack anyway.
Mm.
All right. Okay. So that little diversion. Let's go back. Should we talk about this? What's going on with this bloody presence pot?
Yeah.
This is where things get. This is
Bleeding
where things
high
get
underground.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I don't know how many people are listening to the stream. 136 people online know about negative feedback and what that is and what that does. And we don't necessarily want to go completely down that rabbit hole. But the thing about, I think, the dual rectifier that is quite interesting, and where they clearly put some work into deviating away from the SLO, is that presence pot. Now, in this scheme that we're looking at, back to the rectifier, does this have, and we might need to bring up a later revision of the amp, but does this have the raw modern vintage switch? Because that's where
that's in the power section.
This schematic that you've got here is before that. I believe this is like a G or a real early one.
But it still has, I think it still has. Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah. It looks like it does, because if you look at the orange channel where it's got the LDR7.
Yeah. Look, if we looked at the negative feedback line in the schematic, it would tell us whether or not there's a presence.
Yeah. Because LDR7 kicks in when it I forget if that's active or disengaged, when it brings in the traditional presence pot.
So over here we've got a traditional presence pot.
That's
an LDR switching. There's a switching setup here, right? So this thing, it must have. I don't know what they called it. I'm no student of dual rectifiers, but what did they have? I know that in the latter ones,
it was like modern
and vintage, or something like that. Okay,
it's modern and vintage, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
Go
so
a little bit to the left, Jason. Just a hair to the left.
All right, okay.
You can see where it lifts through the net feedback. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, when it's in vintage mode, the presence pot is in, and then you got your 25K pot with the 4.7K, 0.1 total Marshall JCM 800. But when on this version, the earlier version, it completely lifts the negative feedback off.
So no negative feedback whatsoever.
And that's why that red channel has that just crazy.
Sorry, guys, I
sound.
disappeared. My connection dropped out.
So I think in summary, what we're saying here, and maybe again for the guys listening on the stream, this might hopefully create some clarity on what that switch is doing, right? But in one setting, you've got traditional negative feedback with the presence pot on the negative feedback line. And when you flick it the other way, there's no negative feedback in the amp. And then the presence pot then acts as a high cut in the tone stack. So
you know what's funny about this network too, off the treble pot? Okay, so the treble pot and this 22K, you got a 0.003 to ground. It's real funny because when you use that, it almost has the vibe of a treble pot. It's got a very specific, like once you hit a certain spot in that sweep.
Here it is here.
Yeah. And both sides do have that.
Well, what's on the red channel, there's no negative feedback, correct?
That's right. So I'm looking at this. Yeah, so on the orange channel, we don't have a presence spot, but over here we do on the red. And
right.
So this.
So it's connected to the treble, right? It's off the treble pot and it connects to the this 25K pot to ground. But it's still connected to the treble. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just rolling off. It rolls off high end.
I mean, depending on how big. Amps. Yeah. So this is an area where just in normal amp tuning, you can see some designs or some mods, or you might have even done it yourself, where you just take a cap to ground off the treble wiper to, kill some top end, basically.
Yeah, Dan's having problems with his setup.
You see that? It's coming in and out, in and out.
I think on like triple rectifiers, I think in one setting it was raw or something, or or some I forgot what it's called. So it would switch in and out this presence thing. I'm looking at another schematic right now.
Yeah, if I bring up this one here, for example, where is it?
Basically the presence pots either are either working or not working, and the earlier the later ones had like it was 100K presence pot and still the 22K and the 0.003 in front of it. So
what's this, a multi-watt?
This is a multi-watt, and you can see there's a lot of crazy switching going on here, right? But you can see kind of this modern and vintage and raw stuff, and you can see where the audio, the presence pot kind of gets switched in and out of the circuit.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of ins and outs on the switching, but essentially the function of the presence pot gets moved out of the negative feedback line and into the end of the tone stack in the preamp.
Yeah, just a way to cut top end.
A way to cut top end.
That the network off the treble wiper, that has a very specific tone too. It adds a lot of compression to the way that feels. If you take those two parts out, it does. If you take if you just lift off the 0.003 and the 33K or on whatever orange channel, I mean, it just opens up the amp a whole bunch.
Yeah, we've got to.
It depends on how big that pot is. Like the pot would theoretically isolate it enough where it's not affecting it at all. But maybe 100K is not quite enough.
Yeah,
we have to make this. I'm going to make this observation here. It always makes me laugh. Good old Brad. So look at this relay here, relay 3A.
On the multi-watt?
Yeah. The comments in the way.
Is this off the cathode follower?
Yeah, 220 volts. What
drives me crazy is the fact that they switch the high voltage into the EQs instead of decoupling the fucking.
I know.
Put a 0.1 or 1 UF cap there with a 3.3 meg to ground or something, and decouple it so you don't have 220 volts DC on that relay, which then you have to use these pop filters to crazy fix the pop.
Yeah. You've got J175s all over the bloody amp.
I don't or better yet, just come off like many other amps have. Just come off this cathode follower and feed both the EQs.
Yes. Why even
You
switch
can
it?
do that. It's fine.
Totally
It
works.
drops a little tiny bit of level, but not that much.
Look at the VH4.
Look at the VH4, or look at the or like JVMs do that, and some of them split. I mean, a lot of amps do that. It's fine.
Yeah.
I do that in my Synergy BE Deluxe module, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And Brad, fucking ridiculous amps. I will never respect them. Never.
We know, Brad. We know you love Mesa Boogie.
Brad,
anyone in Australia, you should send Mesa Boogies to Brad.
Brad,
You just made me laugh in the bathroom
because he loves them so much. Maybe you love those even more than Lazy J's.
Oh.
Brad,
was legendary.
one thing about taking in those amps, man, it creates good content for your YouTube channel. So, man, you should take more of them.
Be like, what person does that? I don't even say.
Yeah. Here we go.
You got 5 in queue.
You've got 5 in the queue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're not at work today, Brad. It's a long weekend in Australia this weekend. Well, that is down here, actually. Probably not for you, Brad. What are you doing? You should be at work. It's only a holiday for us down in Melbourne. You should be at work. What are you doing?
Don't let him shame you.
All right, so where are we at with this? We should look at the phase inverter setup because there are some differences here.
Dean, are you all good now?
Yeah. Sorry about that. My my
good.
connection dropped out.
All good, man.
All good now.
Yeah, we haven't gone into the PI, have we?
PI. No. So here we are on the SLO. And I think that so we're coming out of like the master volumes here. And we're into the C17 is the input into the phase inverter. And if we look at these kind of
presence, traditional JCM 800 style.
It's just a standard Marshall power amp at this point, right? Whether you as you say, an 800 or a 9059 super lead or whatever, it's kind of like 82K, 100K plate resistors, 47 picofarad fizz cap. All of this is just stock standard.
C21, C22.
I think these couplers here, we should talk about those for a second. So 47 nanofarad. So you normally see 22.
Yeah.
Marshall, right? 800.
Yeah.
And look at our the grid stoppers into the power tubes at 2K2.
2.2K.
2.2. Okay.
A little bit lower.
220K bias splitter resistors. So I mean, just this looks pretty standard. So if we go and have a look at the dual rec, and I'm going to go back to that earlier. I guess that earlier scheme. We might.
I think there is some different stuff in the PI and
there is some differences here, right? So again, we'll kind of like go. Okay,
there are differences that are quite noticeable.
An actual plate snubber on the 82K.
Yeah, if not both, I think there's plate snubbers
both
on both.
Yeah, they're on both. One's a 90 and one's an 82.
This is completely because of poor design and instability.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of a ringing on the output
this
section.
is crazy instability, and they're just slapping caps across the stuff to fix it. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I would agree.
That wasn't necessarily meant to be there. They just had to put them there to fix the issues.
Yeah. So guys, what the guys are talking about here are these 120 picofarad plate snubbers here, right? C1 and C2. So we were just looking at that at the SLO, and we had 82K. This is a 90K in this schematic. I don't know if the multi-watt.
Yeah, it's a 90K.
Always use that value or what?
Yeah, I think I've seen 90K in all the ones.
Yeah, I'm looking at the multi-watt. It's a 91K.
The triple is the same as that.
Yeah. It's around 90, 91, something like that. Yeah, it's an odd value that you don't see often.
Don't often see that.
And then 75 picofarad, what an odd value too.
Yeah, probably they had
for
like
their cap?
surplus.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they had like surplus
Value.
caps that they kind of just used?
I'm not sure. That just seems like an odd. That's not a common value. And then the grid stoppers are 1.5K, which is even smaller.
Yeah.
Well, it always seems like they
Came
use
from Fender,
tons of
though.
whatever they've got in stock. It was the same with the J175s, is it? Like that they use in all those amps as like use them like mutes and things like that. You know, in the circuit.
Yeah.
I think there's other things you could use that are probably better for that job. But like they seem to have bought like a lifetime supply of that one part.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's just like, fuck it, we'll just use half of what we got, you know. So.
But yeah, the couplers are the same. Couplers are the same on there. So I mean, look, they're still, the similarities are still there.
Yeah,
it's exactly. It's the same.
The Band-Aid that Dave talked about. There's just Band-Aid.
47, the 47 nanofarad output couplers here. That's see lifted straight from the SLO, I guess. Let me go to. We've got a couple of super chats here on this topic. I want to hit those, and then we should talk about. I don't know what else there is, but I think I do want to have a look at the power transformer because I think that whole sag.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Sag and bulb.
We haven't even got to the 5150 yet.
Did we already discuss the negative feedback in the rectifier while I was gone?
Yeah, we did. We kind of.
Yeah,
we did a bit of a look at it. Yeah, well, we did definitely. Cool. We were just we tried to summarize it then by saying that because it gets a bit complex in there. We just kind of say, look, you've got that. The modern and vintage thing, and you got like no negative feedback, but a presence pot hanging off the back of the tone stack.
Exactly.
Or traditional negative feedback with the presence.
Yeah. The one thing to mention, actually, I don't know if we've talked about it, but the tone stack having the weird fake presence thing on the tone stack makes the pots work weird. So, for example, when you turn the treble down, suddenly the mid-range starts to increase. It all gets weird.
I was talking about that tone stack. It's really,
all the pots kind of work backwards or kind of odd and weird in different places on the table. It's
strange. It's definitely strange.
Yeah, you can run the treble on a 0 and it doesn't sound like shit. It's a strange thing.
Okay, so anyway. Flash 84 is saying, thanks for the super chat. Not Flash 84. Seems the general consensus among amp techs is Mesa doesn't make very good stuff. True. Makes me wonder how they became so popular. Was it marketing?
I mean, really, the high gain thing and being so, when they were the timeline and the high gain thing, how many actual records those have been on?
Yeah.
Tours. I mean, it's still a legendary amp.
Agreed. And you also look at the Mark series amps. I mean, Christ, those things were so far ahead of their time. When I think cool. that when I think even like the Mark 1s and stuff, you think like in the mid 70s and that era, and you've got like cascaded gain stages. No one was really doing that in the mid 70s. So like they've done tons of really cool stuff, and I mean loads of this stuff sounds great, but I think the big problem is it's just like the way it's constructed. It's really, really awkward to navigate it when something goes wrong, especially like Dave was saying before with the LDRs. You end up having like a stack of 10 of them like stacked up all together, and it's always the bottom one that fails. You have to desolder 10 parts to fix one, or there's one part in the rectifiers where there's a resistor that's smack bang between two relays, and you can't get in between it with a soldering iron.
I mean, there seems to be just engineering issues that people bitch about most.
100% it is. It's not the actual design of the amp in terms of tone. It's the way that it's been constructed.
Yeah, it's the way it's constructed, or the noise floor of the amp, which they've chosen to do some questionable things with. But it all stemmed from kind of an archaic time. You know,
Yeah.
like when they were first modding amps, it just no one knew. You know, it was just like
No.
the pioneer. I mean, realistically, they were the pioneers, sort of modded high gain sort of things. You know, and not even it wasn't even that high gain in the beginning. And it just sort of that, you know, started with one design, and that design tacked on and something else to another design, tacked on something else to another design. And then basically that becomes a house that was added on to too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then later they fixed a lot of things. I mean, like a lot of things later on, you know, they improved and newer designs were better, and some, not all, but I mean,
I like them. I mean, I like a Rec.
It's cool. It's fine.
Well, this is it. So I mean, to the question, like, well, why did it makes me wonder why they became popular. I mean, by going through this component by component review, it's undeniable that the Dual Rectifier was taken from an SLO, but it does have changes, and it does sound different. You just know it by playing them.
Yeah,
right? That's true. I mean, it doesn't sound the same as the slow. It's kind of like
not quite as. It's a little. It's weaker. It actually puts out less wattage. It's not quite as robust and smacking you in the face as the SLO does on sheer volume. You know, it's different.
Yeah, and I mean, why do they become so popular? I don't know. I mean, I just, people like. I know the guys
promotion.
They like the sound.
Money.
Yeah, and you know what? Like a lot of guys just love a boosted amp, and if you boost the rectifier, it takes a boost like a champ.
Yeah, it does.
It's really great boosted. You know, it's just that all the flub, like just that's part of why it's so good when it's boosted.
Yeah.
If you tightened up a rectifier and then boosted it, it won't be as fun. Not at all.
You're right, man.
Yeah, sure.
I've played with it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
because the boost is tightening up the rectifier.
Yeah, totally. It's shaving off everything before it gets in, right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting kind of it's a whole interesting dynamic in the player base, isn't it? Which is I've found when you think about designing an amp or a mod, right? There's a whole demographic of people out there that want you to deliver them an amp that they can put a boost in front of.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes counterintuitive to what I'm thinking, because I'm trying to put an amp out there or a mod where, no, you just plug straight in, man. You don't need it.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
You don't need a boost, but they just have to. No.
Yeah, they don't like it. I mean, dude, because I'm always trying to do that. And they're like, they get pissed off. I'm like, no, like I made this amp, so it doesn't need that. And actually, it might make it sound worse sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they don't like that. Like,
exactly. You know, if you build an amp with like a really lean front end on it, you're boosting it. It's just not gonna have the same kind of vibe. But that's not obviously the intention when you design it. So it's obviously cool.
Look at that comment.
Kind of,
you know what? It makes me think that when you put an amp out there with like a high and a low jack or whatever, what you should actually say is boost, no boost.
Yeah.
Like that, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do that, or you know. I mean, to be fair, like one of the mods that I do quite often. It's the same thing that I did for Anti-Sneap, where it's got this, I called it the Sneap Sweep, and it's like a gain voicing dial, and it basically just makes the thing more fat, like more suitable for hitting with a boost, or you can just dial it back and get it tightened up and everything, and then you do kind of have the best of both worlds. You can kind of then, if you want to boost it, just max the control out and boost it, but if you don't want to, no problem, you can tweak it. But
so that's either a pot to ground or in like a field type knob, or it's actually a pot blending in a coupling cap.
A mixture of the two.
Or a mixture of the two. There you go.
It's a mixture of the two. So it's doing two things at once. So it's
I like guessing.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, then it's values that's the big thing, because there's a million and one values that you can play around with.
Yeah,
to change
yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah,
but it's cool. It just works, and you know, you don't need much of it like to get it where you want it. But it's cool.
No, it's sort of like the old Jose thing where you're blending in the bass channel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're blending in the low end.
Of course, you're kind of blending in some extended low end gain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of boot pedals, here, let me show something real quick because this is really cool. This guy, let's see if you see this dude, Spooky Vibes.
Spooky Vibes.
Yeah, he sent me this, man. He just sent me this, and that's so rad. Show it off here. This is called the Night Terror.
Hey,
pretty cool, right? I haven't had a chance to play with it yet.
Is it a Halloween limited edition run, or is it a permanent?
I think this one's just I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can find him on Instagram or whatever. But he's you know, I posted this on my story the other day, and there was tons of people that are like, "I love that damn pedal." So he's done real well.
What's the pedal do?
Man, I think it's just a
he hasn't plugged it in yet.
I haven't yet. I don't know.
Too spooky.
I think it's more of a boost, but it's got a clip on it. I don't want to say too much because I don't know, and I don't want to say the wrong thing about it, right? But then I want to show I got one more show and tell, which is cool. Guys have been sending me stuff. How cool is that?
Yeah, amazing. Nothing better than free
stuff,
man.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh yeah.
So MWK Audio Design, Michael Klein. He actually he hit me up and asked me, he's like, "What do you like for pedals?" And I was like, "Dude, I love delay pedals, really." And he sent me this.
Oh, that looks cool.
I love
this. This is a gorgeous pedal too, man. Look at the
the burgundy
glitter in there
on the side with the knobs, and then the black shiny face. Ooh, that looks nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this really is supposed to be a chorus modulated delay with a boost. So this I'm really stoked to try this.
That looks cool.
Mate, yeah. Let me know what it's like.
Yeah, I will for sure.
I just like how that looks.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it looks great. It's beautiful, man.
That's a really good with the knobs, and just sets it off with the black plate like that in the silver. Yeah,
cool. It looks crazy classy, you know.
Yeah.
So thanks to those dudes, and shout out to them.
Yeah,
fucking sweet.
Nice one, man. Okay, Flesh84 is back with another chat. Thanks, dude. Usually amp reviews, from a player's perspective, will be interesting to see as more reviews are done from a tech's perspective if Mesa will change their ways. I don't think so. I think they're doing what they're doing, man.
They kind of proved that with the Mark II C Plus reissue with the squeal thing, where someone else actually found the solution online.
Yeah,
and had put it out there in the market. And I remember I asked the couple guys I know at Gibson, I go, "So are they going to do that fix? What fix?"
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Wasn't it the guy? Is it Dan Valentino who did it?
I don't remember. Someone in Europe.
They'll have to name the mod after that guy.
They had to move. They have to move a wire.
Yeah.
It's not this Wizard of Oz reference here, is it? No, is that the name of the channel or something?
No.
I don't. I have no idea.
I think it's Dan.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
Is he Italian or something? The guy, or somewhere from? I don't know where he's from.
I have a feeling he's in Eastern Europe.
Foreign, he was in Europe.
I think
for
he's
sure,
like in Romania, maybe or something.
Maybe Romania or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's great.
He found it.
Yeah, he does loads of mods to the the other boogies and stuff like that. He does really good work. Really good stuff.
He likes to torture himself.
Yeah, I've seen it like some of his posts. He's doing like full rebuilds of like Mark IVs and stuff. Crazy shit.
No!
It's got
he really likes to punish himself.
He's a masochist.
Sadistic shit.
Yeah.
No.
Respect,
That's
though.
okay.
Mate, big respect.
Big respect. We know where to send them now. Contact this
Bulgarian,
guy.
not Romanian, Bulgarian.
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 It's like contact this guy.
Yeah, this guy. It's either Brad
Yeah.
in Australia or this other dude in Bulgaria. That's it. Okay, here's a question. I don't know. Thanks for the super chat. Why is the SLO audibly smoother?
You think it's smoother?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if I could agree with that either.
So,
I don't know.
Hang on. Are we talking about which channel on the rectifier are we comparing to? Because if you're comparing like a red channel, there's no negative feedback on it. Anything's going to be smoother than that. You know, I mean, it's like really harsh and buzzy when you've got the modern thing going
that's
on the
true.
red channel.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
like, pretty much everything is smoother. But if
It
you're
becomes a
comparing
fizz
like
box at that point. Yeah.
if we're going like orange channel with the negative feedback on compared to the SLO, I don't know. I don't think I would say the SLO is so much smoother. The
Yeah,
SLO's
they're
got
definitely
some
closer.
grit to it.
They're going to be closer in that setting, right?
Yeah. The SLO's got some grit to it. I mean, it
The
doesn't sound
SLO is so much more solid sounding though to me. Like meaning it if you start to turn it up, it's going to punish you in so much more. Eventually, the Dual Rec just starts, shitting the bed on the volume. Yeah. It does not have the same like headroom and punch that an SLO 100 has, which is crushing.
It's horrible.
Yeah, they are crushing, man.
It's like you start turning that up, it's like
they are
brutal.
Yeah, like getting hit with a baseball bat. Flesh 84 is back. Thanks, man. Has Mesa ever made an amp that would earn the respect of the boutique amp community?
Let's ask Brad.
I haven't seen the new stuff. Have you guys seen
the new
stuff?
What do you say, Brad?
What do you say, Brad? I think I know your answer.
This is like Brad is already answering questions before they've even been asked. This is a comment from 20 minutes ago. Okay. Hey, so 5150.
Yes, good. Let's do that.
So Dave, can I ask, man, what's your memory?
Oh, wait, 1 second. Just 1 second though.
Okay.
On the comparison, what about the power section?
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about that section. That's right. So I do.
Before we move on,
I've still got it right here.
Like the filtering and stuff.
Oh yeah, we didn't even look at that.
Yeah,
good call.
There's a big thing that happens.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time. Look at this.
Yeah, expand that a bit more so you can.
Do you want to look at these nodes over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring that in.
Okay, so first you start off with the 460 volts, so that's considerably less than the Soldano is anywhere from 480 to 500. So it starts to be, not super less, but wait, where are the values of these caps? Oh, 30. Wait.
30 microfarad, 500 all the way down.
Okay, so the first couplings are 220s. In series, so 110. An SLO is what? Isn't it?
SLO is the same, is it not? Is it not 220s?
No, it's like double that.
Oh, well, like 470. Are we talking 470?
It's like 470s in series, so I think it winds up being like.
So yeah, the SLO
220.
It's for well in this schematic that we were looking at before. I won't bother bringing it up, but it's an array of 200 microfarads.
Yeah,
so it's 400 and 400. It's 200 microfarad total.
Yeah, 200 microfarads, not 100 microfarads. So it's way stiffer on the front end.
On the mains, yeah.
And then all the rest of these caps, are way. So the screen cap is 30 in a rectifier. The screen in the Soldano is what?
200.
times in series, right?
Yeah, so like 100.
Correct.
So like
Correct.
100.
100.
So the screen is 100, which is way big. And
Mhm.
then is it what I'm doing it from memory. Then after that is what is it 47 or
40.
something?
It's showing 40 on here.
And then it splits off in parallel, right? Or something?
Yes, it does.
It's either 10 microfarad or 15 microfarad or something. Tens.
Good memory, Dave.
Yeah, that's radically different in filtering.
It is.
Yeah.
Way stiffer. Way stiffer.
If I'm not mistaken, in the triple rectifier has got 4 of the 220s on the mains.
Oh, does it? Hang on, I have that up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does, because I seem to remember it being like the Mark series where they've got 4 caps altogether for the mains. Two in parallel each, and then both in series.
This is the SLO we're looking at here, right? So, Dave, what you described was pretty much on, man. See the strings here in series, and then the 40, and then it splits off in parallel with the 10s. Okay, so the
okay, so the triple
10 Henry choke on that?
No, the triple Dan is exactly the same as shown. Well, not exactly. It's
not.
So it's 220s in series for the first stage, so it's 100. The second stage is 30. So the screens are 30.
It could be my Mark III that I'm mistaking that with. My Mark III's got four mains caps.
And then the next stage after that is the equivalent of 30, but it uses 3 10 UFs in parallel.
Yeah.
And then, then it does a little parallel little deal.
Yeah. It could be that I'm mixing that one up with my Mark III.
So, considerably less stiff in the filtering.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 rectifiers too, if you want.
Yeah. Also, Dave, look at that R502 resistor, 2.7K, which is why the PI voltage is so high. I mean, they made a choice to do that.
Yeah, it's red hot.
Yeah, red hot. And then they use a 22K after that. Oh, well, no, they parallel things.
15 and 22. It branches off the same way as the SLO, right?
It's
so
sort of,
D and E are basically the same voltage of that.
We don't know the value of that choke either. Do we?
406, 402.
Is it on the ladder scheme? Like if you look at a multi-watt scheme or something like that.
I'm looking at the triple. Let's see. It doesn't say. I mean, it's probably.
The slow said it had a 10. Was that true? Go back to that other.
No, I don't think it's actually. I don't think that's actually true.
Yeah, I mean that's stiff, but
not specified on the multi-watt schematic. Doesn't specify the choke value.
No, I've not measured it, so I can't guarantee what it is.
You could probably go to Mercury website and find that information
if they gave any values.
Yeah,
which they don't.
No.
Mercury got bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah.
By who?
Another transformer company of some sort. I don't remember who it was.
Maybe that's a good
but everyone's staying on. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
so he's still Sergio for designer. Carry on as there's a money injection that's happening.
Probably just make them more expensive.
Is that possible?
Shit. Well, we just did. Shane mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. We just did another big order with Haber, and that company. I love that company. Like
amazing.
They are.
Yeah, they're great.
Holding, they're doing their best to hold their prices and not be silly with.
They raised them a little.
Yeah, just a little.
But not like it's like 10% or something.
Yeah.
It's not some crazy figure. And evidently the reason that they've raised them is because of the copper prices.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what I heard too.
For the wire.
Yeah. But they didn't raise their prices with the same.
Thank you, Trump.
They didn't raise them to the same level that the copper price has been up. So
yeah,
they're amazing.
Love
so what
them.
do we think about this? What do we think about the spongy bulb switch on the primary?
What is that?
It's a Variac.
Well, it's a Variac, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go to the left a little bit, will you, Jason?
That is absolutely what it is. It's a Variac.
The Variac.
Is it just changing the voltage?
Yeah, it's just it changes the primary. What I don't know what the exact value is they're shooting for there, but it's just 20 or 30 volts difference.
So everything on the secondary side, including the heater voltage and everything, is going to drop. Now, do we know? So what does it flick between? Does anyone know? So if it's 120 on the bulb,
think it's 20 volts down or 30 volts down. It's one of the two.
Does anyone does anyone play a rectifier in spongy mode?
I used to like it in spongy mode.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah, same.
I like it. Honestly, I like it in tube rectifier mode and spongy mode.
Exactly.
And fuck, I don't particularly care for the no negative feedback mode either. So I kind of like it all in those modes, and then it sounds great to me. It sounds like a rectifier, but it sounds cool.
Yeah,
I agree totally. That's how I kind of like that amp too.
Same. Yeah,
so more like a normal amp.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so just like kind of sterile. You know, it feels a bit more like it's got a bit more give to it.
Does anyone play a rectifier with the tube rectifiers in?
That's what we were just saying.
Yeah, they were saying we like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, this amp did, it even though it was based on that slow, there was a lot of really cool stuff in this amp,
Yeah.
You can really drop those voltages, right? If you go into spongy mode on the primary and then go into using the rectifiers, not the solid state.
Yeah, it drops the B plus a lot.
Quite dramatically different than the opposite. Bulb and solid state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
You want a 5150 it, Jason?
Do we have to do, or should we answer some super chats?
Yeah, where are we?
I'm just going through. Well, look, we've been the super chats that we've got. We've actually been
8 super chats.
Yeah, I think I've been through them all.
Oh, you have? Oh yeah, I guess you have.
Yeah. It's audibly smoother, and the last one is the has he ever made an amp that would be the Respect? Well, we said ask Brad. I'm just trying to think, was anything else here? I don't know what this means. I like how Jason got around the tariffs. Well, not quite. Well,
no, Dave brought it up and we just moved on. I mean, it's whatever.
Oh, what did Brad say?
Reality.
What did Brad say? About
here's a question. So someone was asking me about how I got around the tariffs. Well, I'm in Australia. I still have to send stuff to the US, so there is a tariff to pay. Okay. So Dan, you were talking about this actually maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. So the question was, I think this was in response to your comment, and I don't know, saying, wait, does the negative feedback from the dual rectifier not work in the high gain red channel?
It does, depending on whether it's on modern or vintage mode.
Yeah.
It depends where you've got it set. If you've got it set red channel to vintage, you get the negative feedback, that kicks in. But I don't think then. Now I'm trying to remember. Does the traditional presence pot still actually affect it while the red channel's presence is still active too, or? Can't remember if both are active.
I can't remember.
I know it's a little bit weird the way it works.
I thought it got lifted out of circuit.
I think, yeah, it may be that it may be that it gets lifted. The fake presence.
Yeah, so I think on the solo series, when they had the 3-way switch, and then there was the 3 channels, right?
Let me have a
That's
look.
another thing. That's another thing too. So the orange channel still has that setting to where you can lift the negative feedback off in modern mode, but it also has the 500 picofarad treble cap.
Yeah,
there's a different little tone stack. So there, you know, I mean, that's pretty cool. There's some changes there too.
But all in all, it's directly lifted from the SLO.
yeah.
So in summary,
they copied the SLO with some changes, some slight changes.
Yeah.
Wrap it up with a bow tie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because no
Long
other
story short.
no other amp existed that was like the SLO.
So when okay, so
before
when
the
did
SLO.
when did the first dual rectifier hit the market? Now, my internet
Oh,
search
that would have
only-
been
92?
Something like 92 or 90 or like very early 90s.
Yeah.
Because I remember, because when I worked at making music, so that would have been more like 90, 91 or something, right? So like when I actually worked, I remember Mesa coming in with it, the first prototypes and stuff. And we were involved in listening tests of the amp. It was interesting. I remember. Silver chassis. They gave me one because
cool.
of my involvement at the time.
Nice.
Very cool.
I sold it. Could never get it down with it.
They're worth a bit now, right? The silver chassis ones.
Yeah, I know. I wish I would have kept it now.
So it was out. So the SLO was out for four to 5 years before this.
Yeah, 4 to 5 years before. Yeah. I mean, they were definitely targeting, because the SLO is very popular with a lot of artists using those amps. And they really wanted a piece of that.
The aesthetics was quite a, choice. The diamond plate.
Yeah.
I always thought that was strange. It's like, well, let's make this look like the back of a Ford F-150 construction truck. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always thought that was strange. But
yeah, they've got a look to them. They
plastic now.
definitely they look metal.
yeah.
It's interesting because I remember the first time I ever played one, and I remember seeing pictures of them and everything. And I think it was up in Denmark Street, and I got to plug into one, and I remember thinking like, this is going to be the gainiest fucking thing like I've ever played through, and plugged into it. I'm like, okay, where's the gain set? And I'm looking at it, it's like almost maxed out. And I'm thinking, this is like nowhere near what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I couldn't get how people were kind of getting those sounds out of them. And I was like, oh, okay, they're boosting it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I bought one new out of high school. I remember. God, I can't remember. Was it $12.99? It was cheap. Brand new. I bought a dual rectifier. It was either $12.99 brand new or a little bit more than that. Now, this is like 2003 or 4. So, but yeah, it was cool.
So Dave, you mentioned artists. We've got 25 minutes, guys, till the 3 hour mark. So we need to blast through this 5150. Talking about artists using the SLO and how popular they were. What can you remember or say about what happened with Ed Van Halen and the SLO and the Peavey 5150?
Well, I mean, Ed used the SLO for a while. I mean, so that started with the
Fuck album,
with Andy Johns, and Ed. Mike recalled the story of Ed cruising down on Valentine's Day
Yes, that's right.
He wanted to borrow. He called him and he wanted to borrow and check out,
Right.
an SLO 100.
I'll be there in 20. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah, he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, but I gotta leave. I got my girlfriend. We're going out to Valentine's Day dinner. He goes, I'll be there in 20 minutes. And like he's coming from relatively far away, but Ed was a crazy fucking driver. And he probably went 100 miles an hour all the way there. I wouldn't doubt this. and I think Mike said something like he came up and he like, was he in a Jeep or something at the time? And he drove up over the curb and like he got in front of this thing or something. And he actually made it there within like the time frame Mike had, and he got the amp, and I think Ed later had two of them,
yes,
if I'm not mistaken. And he used that on the Fuck record, and with I know this for a fact, with a 75 watt Marshall cabinet, 75 watt speakers, an old 800 cabinet with 75 watt speakers, a slant cabinet, because it came from Andy Brower's and he later bought it from Andy Brower's. It was just and I took it there.
Oh my god!
To the session in my own personal. I had a minivan or something in my own personal minivan.
Yeah.
And then he helped me carry it out of the car. So there's some fun. There's some fun tidbits right there. Oh, let me help you. Like, no, you don't have to fucking help me. Yeah, he grabs it, and he wound up buying that cab from him because he used that on the record, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about a Soldano. The cleaner speakers makes a lot of sense to me because a Soldano in general has a bit of a furry sort of tone to it. That cold clipper, they're kind of it's controlled fuzzy overdrive. I don't necessarily mean I don't mean this in a bad way in any way, but just it has a certain very distinct tone.
Yeah.
And the cleaner speakers actually work kind of better with it because it doesn't add any hairiness from the speakers, like the vintage 30s or greenbacks are a little hairier sounding, and cleaning it up a little bit actually kind of works. And so that's what he used. I mean, that's what he used for that record.
And what can you remember about the connection with Peavey and where the 5150
so you started seeing at that session. So he recorded with that amp, but he got the amp a bit before that. And he was using the Soldano, but then somehow the Peavey connection came in. Originally, from what I understand, is Jose and he were shopping deals, and somehow Peavey was on the table as one of those deals. But then the Jose thing fell apart, and
because he worked for Ampeg too, didn't he? Jose?
Yes, he wanted Ampeg to build it. I don't know how that all went down exactly, but they basically So there was in true Van Halen fashion, they basically parted ways. So and then Jose got sick and he passed away. But but I think the Peavey connection was there somehow. And I remember at that point in time when going up there, it was also the start of the Ernie Ball guitars.
Yeah.
So there were, I remember distinctly going to the studio and seeing raw wood prototype Ernie Ball guitars, meaning no finish on the wood, just a neck bolted to these guitars, real raw, but they were prototypes of all these guitars and stuff. So,
yeah.
And that was the start of that guitar thing also. And I remember seeing a really archaic prototype Peavey amp but I don't think it was anywhere close to being done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like the beginning. I think James Brown on Tone Talk talked about this a little bit. The very beginnings of trying to.
Do you think that Ed said to James and the crew or whatever that he's like, you know, hey, I want an amp that sounds like this, or like I'm just trying to think, how did the?
I'm pretty sure that he was using the Soldano at the time, and I think it would become pretty obvious that when we bring up this schematic, that there was some DNA from the Soldano embedded in the Peavey amp also.
Yeah, 100%.
Not exactly, but less than the Mesa.
Yeah.
But
hey, just real quick before we get to this, do we know, you know, at that time, Dave, do you know how, because Soldano really never mass produced stuff, did he?
no, he made small.
Yeah,
small
so you know, there's that issue too.
Yeah, he was not going to mass produce anything. This was a small boutique company that was making custom hot rods.
Really good point. It's a really good point, Shay. So if he's looking for a signature amp,
wide distribution, no,
to mass market appeal on a global basis, then
right,
that's a huge factor. Right. Yeah, interesting point, actually. Right, yeah, cool.
So let's look at this.
The 5150, the original.
So, okay, the input jack configuration is a bit different, but not really.
Nah.
I mean, it hits the 1 meg and the 68K, just like the Soldano, basically. It has a decoupling cap, and it has a little high-low sensitivity thing.
Yeah.
But it's basically the same as a Soldano.
Yeah.
And the first gain stage is, what does it say? What does it say? 1 point. Hard to read.
It is
1.8. 1.82K. Yeah. So
it's 1.8K, and this is
one UF.
Yeah, one UF.
Same. Plate resistor. Same. Output coupling cap. Same.
Mm-hmm.
Then your 470K 0022, same. So I think this is a 1 meg pod, but it has a 1 meg strapped across it.
Yeah. So it's a 500K.
Oh, it's a 500K pot. Basically, same. It has 001. Only thing different is they strap a 1 meg across the 001.
Yeah.
So it's a little less. It's more like like a treble peaker on a guitar. You know, where you strap the resistor and the thing across it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change as much as you turn it down.
Mm-hmm. The pot kind of gets gainy quite quickly.
Yeah.
At the start. Yeah. Definitely.
But let's call that basically the same.
Basically the same. Okay. And then
we're ignoring the clean channel right now.
Ignore the clean channel. So then we're into the next stage. I'll bring that up here. Maybe just
funny thing is I keep wanting to use my mouse to move it, and I can't.
You're doing good, Jason.
Oh man, it's being super challenging. Okay, here we go.
Look at that. 470K,
470K grid,
100K plate,
100K plate, same
cathode.
Cathode setup, same.
Now, they don't have the snubber on that plate resistor.
No, there's no snubber on that plate resistor.
No snubber. That was on the 39K.
That's the next one.
Okay, but the 470 and the 1 meg voltage divider and straight to the grid. Same.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
100K plate with a 39K cold clipper.
Mm-hmm.
Same. No plate snubber there though.
Nope.
No.
So there's a difference there. Same output coupling cap, the 330K to ground and the 220K grid resistor. Same.
But here's where they're cutting top end right here. The 001 to ground with the 330.
Yep.
So this is interesting, right?
So instead of putting the 001 on the 100K plate, they're putting it there. So really, it's probably very similar
Yeah.
So similar.
Similar amount of
Yeah.
high-end cut.
100%.
220K, exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Mhm.
And then we've got the 220K plate on this stage that's coupled to the cathode follower. That's
So this is sort of like the first half. This
This one is
stage is
with
the first half of the cathode follower of a Soldano.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Then it's a little different.
Then it's different because we've got this guy here, V5B, is it?
Mhm.
Is not a cathode follower, and
That's
we've
an
got
extra
another
gain stage.
an extra gain stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where it differs for sure.
this is where it's different. Okay, for sure.
Yeah. We got
And
some
it's got,
feedback.
so if you look at Dave, you were talking about this earlier on, man. Like a
This
couple of hours
stage
ago.
almost has no gain whatsoever.
This has got local negative feedback.
Yeah.
This stage, right? So this R88 1 meg resistor is taking the signal from the output and bringing it back into the grid on the input, and it's obviously when it's on the plate resistor will invert the phase, so it's out of phase with the grid, and we've got negative feedback, which has been set up to drive the tone stack.
Yeah. So that stage will drive the tone stack more than just a plate driven a stage.
Very different though to the SLO at this point, isn't it?
Yes, it's different.
In the terms of the setup.
Yeah.
And if we have a look at I guess if we go down to here, if we can find the
EQ.
Now, can we make it out in here? It's a bit messy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they always are with the Peavey stuff.
So
47K slope. Same.
47 same. The treble cap is slightly different. It's 570 with the two
570.
caps in total.
Yep.
Which it's not that far off from a little bit more mids, but not that far off from the 470, or 500. It's like
It's hard to read, but 50K mid pot.
Yeah, it's a 50K mid part.
That's
Funny
more.
that.
Yeah.
I wonder
Now
where
they're
that came
fucking-
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Dave. I was just gonna say, man,
Interesting that one.
That's funny. That's funny.
that's hilarious.
That
Yeah.
came from the Marshall.
Yeah. You can see it down here, guys. If anyone can see my mouse, 50K mid pot.
But it's a 50K mid pot. But if you look,
Yeah, it's,
it has a 47K strapped across it.
yeah, exactly. It's strapped across.
Got a
So in
47K.
reality, it's not a 50K. mid
Yeah,
pot.
it's the way they put the 47K to ground there, it kind of you don't notice it until you actually look closer. Yeah, it's grounded to a weird point.
25K.
That's just that's almost cute. It's almost like a tip of the hat kind of like.
It's almost like they had 50K mid pots and they just wanted to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
The Mesa boogie trick.
You're probably right, man.
Now, is that a linear pot? I can't really read it. 50K.
Yeah, it's linear.
linear,
KB, it looks like KB.
Yeah, it's linear.
Yeah. And the treble pot's linear, and can't read the bass pot.
Who knows?
I think it says 1
bass
MA.
pot,
audio,
bass pot's audio.
1 mega.
1 mega, definitely audio taper. And from there, who knows what happens?
So you're basically at that point, you have the vast majority of that is more SLO almost in the front end is almost verbatim, more so than the
Mute circuit from the Mesa in there too. There's the
no, it's not the mute circuit from the Mesa. Peavey did it first.
Oh, Peavey did it first.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, here we go.
Mesa took it from Peavey.
And they patented that.
This is the circuit.
I know they did.
They patented that.
Anyone's looking.
Yeah, right there.
Yes,
The map
that
and the
mute
jet
circuit Peavey did long ago.
With the
Before this.
Triac and the J174. Yeah. It works.
It does work.
Definitely works. Okay, so if I look at
And
the
it has like a
phasing,
cathode follower for the a proper cathode follower for the effects loop, sitting right there, and V2.
this is
whatever.
up here, right?
Yeah.
So V2,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we're coming out of this EQ here, and we're into
A totally proper
Yeah.
tube-driven loop.
Yeah.
tube-driven loop.
Yeah, cathode follower, a split cathode here to
Yeah.
bias the grid on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal stuff.
All pretty normal. And I'm assuming over here, this V3A is the return stage.
Yes, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, this is typical Peavey. The
68
0047 across the thing is kind of interesting across the
Yeah, it's a
cathode.
strange bypass cap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
I think it's more doing stuff in the. It's that's a good question. What is that doing?
Well, yeah, so because you'd kind of want that to be transparent, like that's a bit of shaping there, isn't there?
yeah, it's almost as if like they're trying to bring back a little bit of top end, maybe.
Yeah,
But it's
lost.
almost so small that it might not really do that much.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a big difference if you lifted it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
68K, lots of voltage there,
Yeah.
which is probably good. And then just one coupling cap. They're not like it's just going straight into the
Mhm.
cathode follower, and typical standard phase inverter.
Into the phase inverter here. So we've got a 0.022 input cap to the PI. This is all pretty much
Straight up.
stock standard stuff here now.
Mhm. And 39K feedback resistor, same as Soldano.
Mhm.
They had that value on hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Is in the part spin. Yeah.
now, wait, look, zoom in on the presence down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you've got resonance there, haven't you, as
You
well?
got resonance,
Where
which
we
is
at
the
here?
0068 across a 1 meg pot, I think. I can't read the pot, but
Yeah.
So
Probably
that
a one
looks
meg
like
pot.
a.
who knows?
I can't
Yeah, I
read
can't
that
look
either.
that
It doesn't
one.
matter. It's like 1
like it
meg,
says-
500K.
Let's call it-
maybe
let's
less.
call it
Whatever
one.
it is, it's something that works.
Yeah.
0.68 though.
And then the value, they have two presence caps there. That was a tweaking thing with Ed. So
Mhm.
what are those values? I can't read it.
point
I think
Well, it looks like
0.1 and
then it's-
0.03.
zero
Yeah.
three.
Yeah. It's a little bit
Yeah.
bigger, basically, than the 0.1.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
0.133
little-
is the total.
That's
Yeah,
really,
a little
really-
teeny bit fatter.
0.13.
Yeah, it's very, very subtle though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's not.
This
Little
was stuff where they left. I knew something about this that they would tweak things and often leave double caps in there because that's just the value they came up with. If he liked it, they just left it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
like put two caps in there, just like it is. This was really important at the time, especially with Ed. It was
Mhm.
it's like, I just want it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But we'll
I'll
make
tell
it
you
happen.
what, this amp does sound great, man. It was one of the
Yeah.
first. It was one of the first amps that I heard when I was younger, and I was like, "Oh my god, this amp
Got a
sounds
lot of hiss,
awesome."
a lot of
Yeah,
gain.
Yeah.
I mean, it was noisy, but man, it would shake the walls, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good amp.
Yeah. They're great fun to play.
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah. And then this power section is the 2.2s. That's the same as Soldano, right? Same 0.047s.
Yeah.
0.047 couplers is the same. The 220 obviously bias splitters. 2.2 is the same.
So they took a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
They just changed that little center section a little bit, a little more gain.
Just that little bit before the
Yeah.
tone stack, isn't it? That's where
Yeah.
where it does vary significantly. But other than that, it's
Well, that one extra gain stage really sort of that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Yeah, one extra. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man, amazing.
I remember Mike was also a little bit irritated by that one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's no surprise.
With the 39K just gives it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They changed it a little bit. I mean, there's a little
they
bit. but
changed. I mean, each amp changed some stuff for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
I mean, the 5150 has more gain for sure. It has an extra gain stage in there and a little different way of driving the
Has anyone had a close look? So if you had a look at on sale 5150, what are they? 5153, whatever the hell they're called. Like a stealth or whatever. Are they? I haven't even looked at these things for ages. I know they've kind of moved on, but is it still? Are we still looking at 39K cathode resistors? And I thought they'd moved to 22 or something from memory.
I don't know. They're not the same
hang on.
circuit, are they?
I got it up.
One of us has got it here.
I can't remember, but let's see.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling it might be slightly
So
different.
all right, the first stage. Okay, the very first stage is definitely different. So they got a 1.5K with a 1 UF for the cathode. They have a 100K plate, 10K input grid. Then to go to so then let's see, the higher gain, I believe. Sorry, it's hard to follow here off the top of my head. I believe they do like a really small coupling cap, 750 picofarad, which actually came from the 5152.
Yeah, that's on channel 2, isn't it? They go even smaller on channel 3. They go with a 470 PF on channel 3.
Wow. I'm looking at what am I looking
on
at?
the red channel?
Yeah, channel.
Oh, sorry.
Channel
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not looking at the wrong channel.
Yeah, they go real small on it, and I guess it kind of helps a little bit,
Okay. So sorry. Now I'm looking at the right channel. So interesting. The input is also a 1 meg and a 68K in, and a 1.8K and a 1 UF. And a 220K plate resistor. So that's all taken from the SLO. Now, they do have a snubber of, they have two caps in series. So 560, let's see, 560 plus 270 picofarad. So 800 and odd some picofarad with a 68K in series with it. So it's reducing its effect a little bit. 470 picofarad out, so super tiny. And no like peaker into the gain pot there. Just goes right into the 1 meg gain pot with a 1 meg strapped across it, so like 500K, and a 1 meg after the ground. So
then it gets really interesting though.
A 001, you got a 001 across the pot. That's still, and the 470K, 480K really.
And you've got
into the next stage, which is a 1.8 1 UF 100K. That's Soldano again. Then it's a 001, so way less bass. With the same divider that's in an SLO into the 39K stage, which is the same 100K plate with a 001 across it. And then you come out 022 out, same 33K to ground, same 220K into the what in a Soldano would be the first half of the cathode follower. Same 220K plate resistor, and then you come, then it changes. So then this is from the Peavey basically. So then you're coming out and you're going into that extra gain stage that was in the Peavey, and then you're going into that negative feedback stage, sort of. But wait, no, then it gets a little weirder. You go into that no gain negative feedback stage, but then it goes into a cathode follower stage,
Yeah.
which drives the tone stack, which is different than the Peavey.
Yeah.
God, why do they have to do?
Yeah,
all
you've got a voltage divider in that cathode follower there. You know, going into
Yeah,
it.
but the thing is, the one stage that has the feedback in it doesn't really have any gain.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it even there? It's almost like when they were designing it, they took it from the Peavey, and then let's drive the tone stack better, and let's add this cathode follower in there.
Yeah,
it's kind of odd. And then in the cathode follower, the EQ has the standard Soldano values for the EQ, but it does have a little high-end roll-off with the 0.01 and 33K. That's sort of like a diesel.
Yeah. That thing definitely affects the tone quite a bit.
It's a little roll-off there.
Yeah, it's a fairly big cap to do it as well.
But for the most part, this is the it's a little hybrid of the SLO and the Peavey version, and with a little touch of extra stuff.
Yeah,
you can see the lineage where it comes from, and it's way too much gain.
Oh yeah, and then you
channel 3. Oh my God! Come on, man!
Takes it to another level. I mean, it was already kind of overgained.
Completely crazy amount of gain.
Why the two 16.5 or 16 volt Zenas before the second gain stage? Because like you're probably not getting anywhere close to 16 volts.
I think this has to do with the mute there.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be to do with the J.
Yeah, it's a protection diodes or something, or some sort of something with
it. Could be, yeah,
mute.
just in case it kind of gets pushed too high, but because it just stops the signal swing going any higher than that.
Yeah,
that value.
And then here, let's just very similar sort of loop, little different, but very similar loop to the Peavey. Slight differences in the cathode follower side, but let's call it basically the same.
Yeah.
The post half of the loop into the phase inverter is totally basically the Peavey.
The same.
Yeah, it's even got the really small bypass cap.
Yeah.
Point 0033.
What's the plate resistor value? Is it 68K?
68K, yeah, it's just lifted.
Yeah, it's lifted straight from the Peavey.
Yeah, it's just totally lifted and thrown in.
And the power section is all basically the same as.
Yeah, there's one thing actually on the grid, when you look at the output of the effects loop return, you go through the 0.022, and then where you would normally go, you'd meet with the 1 meg that goes to the grid. You've then got a 100K grid stopper on that.
Yeah, you got a grid stopper there, which is probably a little blocking distortion fix.
Yeah, totally. It'll make the amp feel a little bit tighter. So maybe without that, it was a little bit spongy. What else? 0.047 instead of a 0.1.
And then they do something interesting in the power section. The screen grid resistors are 100 ohm, but they have a main. Oh, and where's the power supply? Oh man, I'm not looking at the power supply. There's a main. I got one page here, so I'm not seeing the power supply, but there's another main screen grid resistor sort of that drops it and then distributes it 100 ohms.
Well, that looking. I've still got the Peavey 5150 scheme, and that's the same.
Oh, it's the same. So they lifted
100,
it.
100 ohm, 5 watt.
Yeah,
screen grid resistors.
Yeah, that's the same. So you know where all the lineages come from, you know, and then they
they
take it
just
from there.
they really overcomplicated the switching circuit in this amp.
Oh, you think?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like just pages of shit.
This is where these things end up. If something's kind of been added to and added to and added to over a period of time, the complexity gets out of control, right? Whereas if they started from scratch, you wouldn't have all that crap there.
No.
So someone's asking Dave, you'll probably get asked this on the next Tone Talk, but I'm going to put it up here now. Would you consider doing a take on the SLO?
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, you know what? I mean, Boutique Amps does a SLOs, you know, and you know, if you want the most traditional SLO, buy the rack mount one.
There you go.
Meaning that circuit is verbatim an old one. So there's with no changes. The other ones have some slight gain changes to things. So
all right.
Which I've done for a few people on the other SLO.
Well, I've done it to a couple here, Dave. With information that you helped me with. So.
Yeah, just went backwards in time, basically.
Yeah, it's not they're not difficult.
It's
changes.
it's not like I don't know. I just sort of I look at an SLO as like something you shouldn't really fuck with, and it other than maybe the first coupling cap, which you can fuck with a little bit to make it a little tighter. Yep. It should just kind of remain like its classic circuit, because I just have respect for it, and I think it's I just want it to be that, you know, that's the sound. That's the sound. If you don't want that sound, don't buy that amp.
Agreed.
You know, it's just you can make it a little tighter. That's my mod to it. You know what I mean? Or anything that I've done on newer amps have been just to revert it a little bit more towards the original, but maybe with a little tighter front end.
Yeah.
Now the crunch channel is fair game though. The crunch channel is fair game because, well,
and that can be made pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, you can make it definitely more like 800-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, like even if you use, so the second stage of the crunch channel is a 2.2K, right, instead of a 10K. Even if you just leave that and you just put some of the more Marshall values in the rest of it, like the 470Ks with the peaker and everything.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, this sounds great. Sounds like kind of like an 800.
Yeah.
And then you can play with the coupling cap to get the right ratio between the lead channel and that to get the tightness right. So they sound like the lead channel just gives you more of the same thing, and then it's like killer.
Exactly. Well, I know we're past the 3-hour mark, but I've just got to bring this one more question up because we could all do with a laugh, and I know this will make you guys laugh. This is about the good old 59 modified.
Oh yeah.
How much would it cost in parts to turn a 1959 hand wide into a 1959 modified, given that Marshall are asking something like twice the price for them? I know the answer to this.
I mean, okay, so
let me just hang on. I've got $5 on my pocket. Hang on.
Okay, look. In specifically the amount of parts it would take to do the modified version of what they're doing to the hand wired, I mean, in parts, it's like $10?
Yeah, not much.
10, 20, 25, 30, I don't know. I'd have to add them all up exactly, but yeah, I mean, let's say it's under $50.
Let's say $40 including shipping.
But you could say this about anything though. So you know, there also comes the knowledge.
Of course.
What are you paying for the knowledge of to do this to this amp? I mean, I'm sorry, parts don't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, you can add parts in any amp, and you know, it's like, well, it costs you this much. Yeah, but you got to make it. You also have to have 20 or 30 years experience doing stuff in order to make it in the first place. So
100%.
Absolutely, man.
And like, yeah, it's not.
I reckon.
I mean, is that price relatively fair for what they're doing? It probably should be a little bit cheaper than it is.
Yeah.
They could have afforded shielded cable. At least.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Well,
kind of
yeah,
think it should be
exactly.
like $3,200 or something like that
Yeah.
instead of, I don't know what the US price is.
Well,
I was
I
gonna
think
say,
in the
give
UK,
me the
it's
US
about, I think it's about another grand on top of the normal price. And I
It's a
think
lot.
Exactly. I did the same upgrades to a bunch of them, and I basically charged half of that for it. And I included shielded cable. So
Yes, yeah, you'd include shielded
was
cable.
about
Wow,
nice.
that's
You're
a
so
big money.
generous, Dan. Dan, you're so
Yeah.
generous. Come on.
Yeah, I'm really generous. What can I say?
You know, when you
don't-
look at that, what is the price in the US for that amp? Do we know?
38, isn't it? I think
Is
it's
it 38 now?
Yeah, well, this freaking amp is this amp is crazy price in Australia. It's
How much is it in UK? It's £2,800 in the UK, and that's roughly £100. Sorry, that's roughly 1,000 more than a 1959 ham wide.
Let's see. There's the modified. Oh wow.
38.
So yeah, so it's 38.49.
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
what do you reckon?
And better yet, do they exist? That's what I want to know. I have yet to see one in the
I haven't
wild.
seen one in the wild, but they are listed in the retail stores here for 6,700 Australian dollars.
So a regular hand wired is 30 in the US is 3,200. And so it's $550 more. Well, I mean, if you're taking, I think they're literally modifying a standard hand wire.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a whole different layout or anything that's going on. They're modifying a hand wired. And like, you know, if you ask Dan or I to modify a hand wire, it's going to be $500 more.
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
sure.
It's basically
You know,
what it was
so
when I did it.
I don't know. It's probably about right.
Yeah,
but
it comes down to
let's
where you
look
are in the
at-
world.
Let's look at this. So you take the hand wired. Let's compare this to my Jose amp. So the Jose amp is $37.99, so it's actually cheaper. It has an extra gain stage in it that doesn't exist. It has a proper effects loop in it, fully bypassable. It has the blend feature of the 2 channels, which I don't believe that the hand wired does. It has a fat switch. It has 3 different gain styles, which maybe the hand wire has. I'm not sure. It has a few different gain styles. 2 different presence pots by the Jose.
You can't even really put them in the same category.
You
even
can't.
though
I mean, you can't really
No,
put
no,
it in the same category.
they're not even close.
No.
They're really not.
And I'm not saying that just because it's better deal. Actually, I mean it's a better deal.
True. It's
Yeah,
just true.
100% is. Yeah, without doubt, it's the better amp.
Far better transformers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
100%.
that's
Dan,
a thought.
Dan, everybody keeps asking about your pink guitar in the background there.
Oh,
You want to give it a little show and tell?
so
Why we haven't done our
Right.
guitars? What's new on the
Yeah.
guitar shelf? Look at this!
it's
Wow,
That's cool, man.
it's
That's
this is
dope.
this is a mutt. It's a reverse headstock Charvel custom shop neck, and then it's a 1987 Dinky.
Cool.
And it's actually it's kind of turned peach color. It's not really as pink as the camera makes it look. It looks kind of more like it's going like kind of it's more like a surfy kind of color, you know, like that kind of classic 50s surf pink where it's kind of shifting.
Well,
But
Pink's
yeah,
as hell.
it's-
Pink as hell in the camera.
Yeah, it looks pink on the camera. In the, I've got a ring light behind there that's really bringing out the color more. But yeah, it's a great one.
That's cool.
What pickups are in it, man?
It's beaten to hell. It's like, it's when you see it up close, it's just covered in dings and chips and everything. But it's got a holy diver, a bare knuckle holy diver in the bridge, a trilogy suite in the middle, and then I think I've got a sinner in the neck, which is like a real high output single coil. They're not hum cancelling. They're you know,
Noisy.
Yeah, noisy ones, but
yeah.
They're great though. That neck pickup really matches with a humbucker. You know, it's a great one. Goto trend, nice big frets. Yeah, just a great guitar. I've made like videos on Instagram with it and stuff, and it's just a really great sounding guitar. Really easy to play.
Yeah, it looks cool, man.
Man, I wish I had the guitar, the limited run guitar sitting here. I had it here, and then I had to take it back, and they had to do something to it. But
there's a star guitar.
Star guitar.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is it cool?
I can't wait to see it. I love those things.
You'll see it on social media shortly.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
That's really neat.
Yeah. Those things
that's really cool.
All right. Shall we wrap it up here, guys? Good session.
We should wrap it up.
I got a few guys actually messaging me directly saying this has been a killer show. So I hope everyone's enjoyed the deep dive. The mystery surrounding those 3 amps.
The schematic episodes are fun, man. It's always fun bringing up the schematics and talking about them.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I love this geeky shit.
We got called nerds a couple times. Yeah,
no one else is going to do this, man. You won't find schematics on the live stream anywhere else.
We know we're nerds. It's fine.
Yeah.
We celebrate it.
When you wake up in the middle of the night and you're just like, I wonder if I do this and I do that and I will do that, and then you can't go back to sleep.
I know that feeling. I know that.
Yeah.
And then you keep thinking about the same thing, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Oh, wait. We want to give a shout out to Rocco again, because we're going to end with a theme. We're going to end with a theme song. And thanks to Rocco.
The only one of you that has anything is Dan.
Mine's not working for some reason.
Oh, there you go. He finally got his.
I'm like yours, David. Mine doesn't work anymore. Anyway,
there you go.
Let's look at that. All right, guys.
All right.
We'll catch you later.